Hey everyone, hope you're having a good day today, and we are back with some more Genshin Impact. We got a new update, a whole bunch of stuff to go through. Let's get into it. So first, Taramaro. I call you a handsome Coco before we leave. Okay, there you go. Good boy. So, for those of you who have been following the Genshin Impact news, there's a new Archon Quest going on, and we're heading back to Liyue for it. So we gotta wait quite a while till Sumeru, it seems. But that's okay, because I like Liyue. I haven't tried to look too deeply into everything, because I don't want to be spoiled much, but I know about a few things, like the new characters, like Jinye, a few other things. But right now, you go over here to Eugene Terrace, listen to what Ningguang has to say. So,
I have gathered everyone here today to make an important announcement. Perhaps some of you will have heard the news already. I am, in fact, planning to rebuild the Jade Chamber.
Rebuild the Jade Chamber? That's a huge project!
I remember seeing a few world quests that were like labeled Return of the Jade Chamber.
So the rumors are true. No wonder the price of building materials has gone up so much lately.
The Jade Chamber means a lot to Lady Ningguang. Getting involved in this would be a huge opportunity.
Lady Ningguang, is there any way we can be of service?
Patience. Since the news made it out a few days ago, I have already had many people contacting me to declare an interest in joining the project. Nevertheless, I do have a few matters I should like to entrust to you here today.
Oh,
the building site has been chosen, and most of the materials have been assembled. 3 key items are, however, still outstanding. They are as follows: Sunset Vermilionite, Wonder Cores, and Adepti Sigils.
Adepti Sigils I can do. Wonder Cores I don't know what they are. Sunset Vermilionite, I can work on that, I guess. I don't know what that is.
Excuse my ignorance, Lady Ningguang. I'm familiar enough with Plostrite, but I've never even heard of those other 2.
I'm guessing that's why they have so many people gathered here.
Only sufficiently large pieces of Plostrite, or specifically Vermilionite, may earn themselves the Sunset moniker. This stone is what allows the Jade Chamber to float.
Ooh.
Wonder Cores, meanwhile, are the central components of the mechanical structure of the Jade Chamber. Adepti Sigils serve as a means of integrating the mechanical devices with Adepti art. They are as indispensable as the mechanical core itself. Although these 3 items are rare, I trust that with your connections and capabilities, procuring them will not be a question of if, but of when. I take the saying, time is money, more seriously than most. Efficiency is everything. I will pay a generous price for the materials that you find. And in addition, the first 3 people who collect all the materials will have the opportunity to ask me a question.
Ooh, alright.
You may ask me anything, and I will give you an honest answer. I trust that this means of compensation will be to everyone's satisfaction.
Yep, sure.
These things won't be easy to get hold of. But if it means a chance to get some inside information on Liyue Harbor's development plan for next year...
Then it's the deal of a lifetime. Information from Lady Ningguang is priceless. Whoever gets to it first takes the market.
I don't know how to feel about this guy. Seems very greedy.
Haha, what a coincidence. I won't divulge too much, but I heard some murmurings about some Plostrite just the other day. So excuse me all, but, I have some business to do.
Alrighty. You do you then, sir?
No. We better move quickly, or this opportunity will be snatched away from us.
Ningguang's rebuilding the Jade Chamber? This is a huge deal! Let's get involved!
So you heard my announcement, did you?
Yes.
What do you think? Interested?
Can I really ask you anything at all? Anything at all?
Yes. Providing the question pertains to something I am knowledgeable about.
Maybe I could find out more about my sister, but she did just say if it's something that she's knowledgeable about. So I'm guessing that's probably a no. At least I don't think she's bothering much with the Abyss Order.
Really? Ooh, then Paimon will ask you about how to run a business.
I think the thing Aether wants is a bit more important, just
And
saying.
we'll never be short of Mora ever again.
Okay, actually maybe that one sounds a bit good. I have gotten short of Mora quite a few times.
Of course. But how much information I share with you will depend on your performance. The construction of the Jade Chamber requires a great deal of space. The abandoned mine outside the Golden House has been selected as the building site. Once you have collected the materials, please take them there. I have
Alrighty.
other business to attend to now. Otherwise, I would gladly escort you to the site in person. When you do arrive, please seek out my secretary.
Ooh, would I be catching a gun?
Remember, this is a race against the clock. A rare opportunity presents itself to you. Do not let somebody else snatch it from your grasp.
I won't.
Ningguang
Also,
seems
plus we're the main
super
character.
busy.
We
Come on,
can't
better
let
get
anyone
going.
beat us.
First, we gotta get out of Eugene Terrace. Huh? Look! It seems like
Ooh.
there's something kind of fishy going on over there.
Is that
Ma'am,
Shanae?
you seem like an
Yes.
eminent and distinguished young lady to me. I can see that you're easily gonna win this procurement contest Lady Ningguang has set up. As it happens, we have some information about the materials that I really think might interest you. Come on, let's find somewhere a little more private, and we can get down to brass tacks.
No, I don't need it.
Alright.
Don't be like that.
It is Shanae, I think, yeah.
Hey, come on! Don't go! Why don't you stand there after her?
Oh, right, yeah.
Why do they want her help? I don't know too much about her character, but at most I think she's like... She's
Did you hear that?
kind of like an
They said they had
exorcist
some
working on
useful
half of the...
information. Information's just what we need right now. Let's follow them.
Maybe
and
just
see
want her
what
to
we
work
can
with them
find
because
out.
she's strong. Alright. Why did I not want to do that? I wanted to collect this thing while I was going. Alright.
Huh, they're not here.
Oh, I
Let's
see
keep
them.
looking.
No idea how they got down there so quickly, but there was a jump or something. Anyways, what you guys doing?
Well, will you look at that, ma'am? Nowhere left to run.
I mean, she could just walk away. Like, there's no reason. Like, she could defeat them if they were to do anything drastic.
Don't worry, we're not bad guys. You give us some Mora, we give you a little info. Everybody's a winner.
Boss, I got a bad feeling about this. Look at her, the white hair, the energy she gives off. I'm telling you, there's something different about her.
Yeah, you can say that. You can say
So
that.
what? She's loaded. How are we ever going to repay those gambling debts if we just let money walk away from us, huh?
I've already told you, I don't need your information. If you still can't grasp that, I'm happy to repeat it in a way that won't be so easy to forget.
Come on, ma'am. You seem like an intelligent lady. I shouldn't have to spell this out to you.
I think someone needs to spell it out for you, sir. Like, you can find other people who will, like, make the deal with you. You don't need to go specifically for her over and over
It's
again.
not about whether you need the info or not, okay? It's about you taking out your money and handing it over and nobody getting hurt.
I won't.
No more excuses! Okay, I know you have money. I saw you. Yeah, I saw you. Strolling into Liyue Pavilion, ordering a table full of food and only taking a few bites. Then Xinyu kiosk, then Wanmin restaurant. Same story each time. You order all the signature dishes, take a few bites, then you're on your way again. How could you afford to be so wasteful if you weren't from a rich family? And since you're so rich, what's the loss to you in giving us a little spare change, huh?
I mean, it's our choice.
The master warned me not to lay a hand on anyone in Liyue Harbor. But here we are. Perhaps... yes. Let's call it fate.
Oh boy.
Boss, I'm telling you, something's not right.
You should listen to him, sir. You really should.
What are you afraid of? We're just selling information. It's not illegal. If she lays a finger on us, all the better. We'll sue her for everything she's worth.
Hello, Mr. Liyue guy. Here they are.
Oh, you again.
The Millilith. What are the Millilith doing here? Did you do this?
Yes.
You ought to mind your own business. I swear!
Silence! How dare you threaten innocent civilians? You're coming with us.
No, don't be angry, sir. Please, let me explain.
Look, Millilith, do your job, please. There we go. Thank you. You okay, ma'am?
Shenhe,
Shenhe?
Oh, Shenhe.
my name.
Shenhe.
So your name's Shenhe. Paimon's name is, well, Paimon. And this is Paimon's travel buddy.
Alright, so I've been pronouncing it wrong the whole time. Shenhe.
Oh, I've heard about you two before. Thank you for helping to defuse the situation.
You're welcome.
I could have dealt with it myself, though. I suspect smashing his head against the ground a handful of times is all it would have taken to get him to surrender.
Perhaps, but I don't know if that's socially acceptable.
You can't do that. That's way too violent. This is
Exactly.
Liyue Harbor. There are laws against that kind of stuff, you know.
Laws?
And I heard of law.
No, apparently not.
From what I know, she did live with the Adepti her whole life, so I guess that makes sense.
Really? So how exactly have you...
What was that noise?
That would be my stomach growling. I haven't eaten enough.
She's so honest.
Wait, are you talking to me? No, but hello, Cheerio, and welcome to the stream. Hope you're having a good day today. I'm confused. Nope, I am talking with Shenhe here.
Wait, that's right. They
I hope I
said
pronounced
you
it
went
right.
around all the restaurants ordering this and that and the other, but only took a small bite of each dish. Then of course you're still hungry. So, anything in particular you're hungry for?
I don't know how to use Twitch. I don't know how to. I guess it's just I talk to you guys from the stream and you talk to me in like the chat box. I don't know, I kind of had a worry. Oh, hello, Benny, Xia. I hope I pronounced that right. Thank you for following. Let's see, I found your Twitch. Put the link in your Twitter bio for more click-throughs. Good today? I'm doing good today. And, I don't have it in my bio, but I should have, a Cardo link. That does have my Twitch there, as well as YouTube and a few other things. And yeah, I don't know how things work. You should learn in due time. I don't spend too much time, like, watching Twitch myself, but, I think eventually you get the hang of it.
Chingson, glaze lily, violet grass. These are my usuals.
So, medical herbs.
Medicinal herbs?
Kinda hard to explain. Anyway, Booba Pharmacy's not far away. Let's take Shenhe there for a big medicinal meal.
Human technology confuses me. It is confusing for us
After all,
Dionysius.
you can't work on an empty stomach.
And it took quite a while to learn how all this stuff works. I eventually got the hang of it. Thanks to my big T-Rex brain.
Do you think Shenhe might be an Adeptus? It seems like it's her first time in Liyue Harbor, and she doesn't seem to get how things work here. If she is an Adeptus, that would explain everything. Where does she fit in with the other Adepti, though? Paimon's super curious.
I think that's all the dialogue. Basically, we can talk here. He said he can respond to us, but he's also playing the game and commenting on it too. Yeah, that's just about the gist of it.
Are you here to buy some herbs? I do hope you brought your prescription.
No?
Ginseng, glaze lily, and violet grass, please. Half a pound of each.
What kind of prescription is this? Sounds more like a lunch order. Oh, here you go.
It might be,
That's everything
sir.
we have in stock.
Thank you.
She's really eating them.
Huh. How about that?
My hunger has now abated. Thank you.
So how did they taste?
Rather awful.
Oh.
Though they were not completely devoid of sweet fragrance. After consuming a large quantity of them, bitterness is all that remains.
So how if I didn't say anything, he won't know I'm here? Yep, that's called lurking. And indeed, that's the part me, and I appreciate it whether you're active in chat or just lurking. I'm just happy that you're all just... I need to find a word. I'm just happy for everyone for stopping by and just hanging out with me for a bit.
So, how come you chow down on these and barely touch the restaurant
There was no
food?
pressure to talk if you don't feel like it. So it's okay if you're shy. It's really up to you. Feel free to talk, because 5. Exactly. So hi, hello. Hope you're having a good day. I already said that probably. Anyways.
If Paimon had enough Mora, Paimon would go to the fanciest restaurant in town and order a whole table of food and eat it all in one go.
Because I'm not sure whether I will remain here in the future. The food of the mortal realm
yes.
is
Okay, that's
most
good to hear.
delicious. But should I return to the mountains, yearning for the food here shall only pose an obstacle to my continued spiritual development.
Thank you. And how are you? I am doing very good today. It's even better now that I get to talk with you guys and play Genshin.
Sampling each dish in order to appreciate its taste is enough.
Return to the mountains. That proves it. Paimon knew she was an Adeptus.
I don't think she is an Adeptus, I'm not sure.
Enough about me. What are your plans from here?
No idea.
Oh, right! Paimon almost forgot! We came out to take part in the Rebuild the Jade Chamber competition!
Oh yeah, I forgot about that.
And now we're probably super behind because we've been held up for so long.
I see. I heard something about the contest when I was passing by.
I like your voice. Oh, thank you. Oh, I guess it's probably pretty common for VTubers, but I personally don't really like hearing my voice. So that means a lot. I don't know how to describe it. I feel like when I hear myself, it sounds nasally for some.
Yep! You get to ask Ningguang any question you want if you win!
I don't know. Maybe just not. Maybe it's because the way I listen to myself right now sounds different to when I'm hearing it from the outside. I don't know how to word it. I don't like my... Well, I haven't heard it yet, but I'm sure it's a nice voice. Sound like a very cool dinosaur. Thank you. And I am a cool dinosaur. The coolest of them, the T-Rex. I think I'm... all dinos are cool in their own way, but... T-Rex is the big ones, you know.
Were you interested in the contest too, Shinha?
I came for the rebuilding of the Jade Chamber, but until this point I had no intention of joining a contest. However, you have shown me your kindness, and I would now like to lend you my assistance. Oh, don't worry. I ask for nothing in return.
Big strong dino with tiny little arms. Yeah. Though actually, T-Rex arms, despite how small they are relative to their body, they were actually around as big as a human arm. And they were actually around, like, I don't remember the exact measurements, but I think it was, they were 400 times stronger than a human arm. We just never used them. But that's something you can learn now. Just don't eat me. I won't eat friends. And also, T-Rexes and Stegos were separated by many, many million years, so I probably wouldn't have even gotten the chance, really. Well, but at least if we're back in, like, our normal times, before the whole meteorite thingy. Saying your arms are dinosaur-sized, and though I'm not... I say it's more like my body is really big, but my arms are fairly small, like, compared to the rest of my body. But compared to humans, the arms are actually fairly big. Then again, I guess human body sizes kind of differ with many different individuals, so yours might be actually a bit smaller, might be a bit bigger, who knows. I haven't actually... besides mine, I haven't really taken much look at other T-Rex arms, so it's hard to say. I haven't done a comparison yet.
Wow! You really don't have to. But having an Adeptus help out will make things a whole lot easier, so...
Welcome you to the team.
Then let's not delay. I have a plan.
Great! Paimon bets this is gonna be the awesomest plan ever!
I am not sure whether or to what extent this plan can be classified as awesome. I do, however, believe it will be highly effective. We simply need to dispose of everyone who is currently ahead of us. Then, we alone shall become the victors.
I can dig that style.
Vito! That is not acceptable! Not by a long shot!
They won't know, though.
Really? But I hear that
If I were to just
competition
knock
is in
them all
essence
down.
about conflict and
I am
one-upmanship.
T-Rex, I can do that.
Look, we want to win this competition fair and square, okay? Sunset
I think I
Vermilionites,
skipped a bit.
Wonder Cores, and Adepti Sigils. Let's start at the top of the list and work down. So, for Plustrite...
I was wondering who I could hear arguing
hi,
over
Joe.
there. So, it's you.
Hello.
Aishu, what are you doing out here?
Oh, there's the little snake buddies there, too.
Lady Ningguang wishes to
I guess it's
purchase a
always
large
there.
batch of wound dressing. We're running low at the store, so I came out to fetch the ingredients personally.
I don't know how to word it, but Baishu's voice is really soothing.
Huh? How come Lady Ningguang needs so much wound dressing all of a sudden?
I'm not too sure. I did hear she's looking to rebuild the Jade Chamber, maybe for its first aid on site. I didn't ask, though. Far be it from me to pry into my customers' personal affairs.
And I guess I just like how classy his voice sounds. Alright, look. Alright. Thank you for the look. Good vibe. Good luck with the stream. Thank you, and I hope you have a good rest of your day. So, are you excited about Saturday? I am. We're going to do a collab, right? And I remember you said we're going to start with Uno and then maybe It Takes Two. I haven't played It Takes Two yet, but I have seen a few people play it before, so I've unfortunately been a bit spoiled about it, but I mean, it's been a while since I've actually seen it, so I mean, some things just still come as a surprise to me. As for Uno, as I said already to you, I'm not exactly the best at it, but it'll be fun. I think I know the basic rules. Yes, we need there. I probably should have been looking at chat, so I know what you were specifically talking about. I'm nervous. Yeah, me too. But hopefully it should all work out. I kind of wish though I could actually see the times when you sent the other things, so I have a good idea of what you were talking about. We need. I would assume that it's something to do with It Takes Two, but I'm not sure. You too? Yeah, I am a bit nervous for the collab thing, but I mean, it's gonna be nice to hang out with you, though, play some games. I think it's gonna be nice. Even though we're both probably gonna be very nervous at the very beginnings. I don't know if you've streamed yet. That could definitely be very anxiety inducing. Is this like your first time being part of a stream? No. Never streamed. Well, I hope you have a good time with it. And when you do debut, I really hope that I'll get to be there. I never know, because our time zones are about 4 hours apart, off from each other. But I'll try my best to be there when it happens.
Oh, and she also borrowed Chi-Chi, meaning Boo Boo Pharmacy is very short-handed right now. I don't suppose any of you are looking for part-time work by any chance?
Not right now, sir.
No, we've got other stuff to do. While you're here though, you seem to know a lot. Have you ever heard of something called Sunset Vermilionite?
Ah, the variety of plostrite used in the Jade Chamber, yes? There is some mention of it in the Seven Mountain Treatises. When activated, Sunset Vermilionite rises up all the way into the clouds. It's very rare indeed. As far as the records show, virtually all Sunset Vermilionite in existence has been mined and taken possession of. But the Feiyun Commerce Guild would know far more about this than I do.
Oh, alright.
Okay then, let's go ask at the Feiyun Commerce Guild.
Alright, let's go find them.
You're quite welcome. Good luck to you all. And if there's anything further you need from me, just come to the Boo Boo Pharmacy.
Of course. Alright. I want to talk to him, because we don't get to see many playable / probably in the future could be playable characters.
Why does Lady Ningguang need so much wound dressing? Is it really such risky business rebuilding the Jade Chamber? This is all most peculiar.
I never actually played this game. Since Genshin Impact, it's the latest story so far, the game part of new that just came out. But I'm sorry if you do plan on playing the game. I guess this is kind of spoilery, but it's a pretty fun game if you do want to get into it.
Master Xingqiu, thank goodness you're finally back.
Oh? Why do I detect an urgency in your voice?
The guild has had a whole string of strange orders in recently. Everyone's been completely caught off guard. Your father gave me specific instructions to ask you to stay and help out if I happen to see you.
I see. Have someone sort the orders by type for now. I'll deal with them myself shortly.
How long have you streamed for? I first debuted it back in March 24th, I think. So, less than 10 months, I believe. A little less than 10 months. It's astonishing to me that I've been doing this for so long. And I'm very happy to have come so far with this. I haven't really upgraded my setup much, but I feel like in terms of talking to everyone in chat and like minimizing the amount of silence in the stream between the times I talk, I feel like I've gotten really better at that.
Oh, how wonderful. Thank you, Master. With you on the job, I can breathe a sigh of relief.
Hey, Xingqiu! Glad you're here.
Hello.
We want to ask you for some information.
Traveler, Paimon, please wait a moment. Shu, I need to entertain some guests. Please continue with your work for the time being, and we'll discuss the matter of the guild's orders in more detail later on.
Understood, Master Xingqiu. Then I will leave you in peace.
I wasn't counting on finding you here today. What's going on? And how, pray tell, may I be of service?
We're looking for some material. I forgot the name of it.
Xingqiu, have you ever heard of Sunset Vermilionite?
There it is.
Oh, I see. So you've entered Lady Ningguang's contest as well.
Yep.
As well? Do you mean...
The truth is, the Feiyun Commerce Guild is in possession of some Sunset Vermilionite, but only one piece.
Oh. Wait. Xingqiu, you're the one holding the One Piece. Luffy's looking for that, you know?
We are holding it on behalf of someone who has asked us to put it up for auction, and a lot of interested parties have already come to us inquiring about the price. At the end of the day, it all comes down to supply and demand. In this case, I'm guessing the final transaction price may be in excess of 500 million mora.
Oh no!
500 million?!
Yeah, I definitely can't afford that. I don't even know if I have 1 million right now.
Honestly, I would recommend that you don't bother bidding on this one. The price is greatly inflated, and it's just not worth it.
But without any Sunset Vermilionite...
I guess we could just mine it ourselves
Don't
somewhere.
panic. I don't suppose you ever heard of Sea Gazer?
No?
Who?
Never heard of them.
Sea Gazer was once very close to Mountain Shaper.
Oh.
But if I am not mistaken, he has already passed away. Yes, precisely. I didn't know anyone else knew about him. According to records of drifting clouds, Sea Gazer once built an abode to store his rarest and most exquisite treasures, among which was some Sunset Vermilionite.
So we need to find an old Adepti's old home.
After Sea Gazer passed, the abode was abandoned, and its location was lost to time. Luckily, I came into possession of a stack of folk history books just recently. They make some oblique references to this lost abode, and after cross-referencing them against each other, I'm now fairly certain that it is situated in the Liyue area.
Lots of that went in and out of my ears, but Liyue part is stuck.
That's great!
Remember that.
But is it really okay for us to just go and take his treasure? Wouldn't it be a little, disrespectful with him being an Adeptus?
Good point.
You needn't worry. As far as I understand, Sea Gazer was very open-minded.
Oh, okay.
Even while he was alive, he wouldn't have let something like this bother him. Open-minded? I have not heard of Sea Gazer being described in this way before. May I ask where you read that?
I think it's more first-hand experience.
Just a rumor I heard out in the mountains. All right then, let's go. There's something about this young lady that reminds me of a good friend of mine.
Chongyun? It's Chongyun, right? She's his aunt.
Oh,
apparently.
I almost forgot. Adepti abodes tend to have very
I don't remember-
ingenious designs.
I'm pretty sure she's
especially
actually
when it
like
comes
his
to their
aunt.
defense mechanisms. Plus, it's likely to be crawling with monsters after being abandoned for so long. So please, be very careful.
Okay,
Oh, we just-
we will be. Thanks, Xingqiu.
Alright. Search for the abode around these shafts. Alright, it's right over there then. You just need to look around these parts. And let's have Child out in case we need to fight anyone. Okay, I don't see any bad guys around here. I don't know why I was going to say mobs. This is Minecraft. But anyways.
Let's see. Xingqiu said it should be around here, but Paimon doesn't see anything.
Oh. Anything changed?
This place was hidden using a special Adepti art. But now that I have removed it, we can inspect the area more closely.
Wow, that's amazing! Yep, let's take another look around.
Alrighty.
Hey, look! Is that a new Sealy over there?
It is. Hello, sir. I'm gonna follow you. Sir, wait, hold up. Okay. There we go.
The Sealy got to here and then disappeared. Should we go over and take a look?
I'm guessing this is a domain? It is a domain. Let's go inside. Alright. And...
What?
Oh,
Weren't we at a waterfall just now? How did we suddenly end up here?
this looks nice.
Whoa, so many clouds. It feels like we're high up in the sky.
I believe
saw a
this
chest
is
over
the
there.
abode of that Adeptus. With any luck, the sunset Vermilionite we're looking for should be in here.
Really? Let Paimon see. Huh? Isn't that the Sealy from before? Look,
Oh.
it's gone and snuck beneath the clouds. And now that Paimon takes a closer look, the rocks and trees here don't seem complete. Oh, could there be something below the clouds?
What do you think, Shinha?
These are not real clouds. They are the product of an Adepti art used for spatial partitioning. If we want to go down, we must first destroy the mechanism that is maintaining the Adepti art.
All right, then let's do it.
I sense the presence of monsters in this place.
Alright, we get
I
to
don't
fight
know where
then.
they are
We get to
hiding,
fight.
so we better be careful.
Let's do this. Oh, and we get to play as Shinha too. Okay. See what she's like.
My will embodied!
Okay, well, and how do we get here? Okay, I guess we just gotta be extremely careful here. Right, I gotta try and do around here, and I don't know if we can fall off. Or I wanna risk it. Ooh. Holy cow! Oh. Okay, this isn't working.
By royal
I need
decree.
you here to take them out. Alright, you're going at it, Oz. But, alright, there we go.
Obey!
Oh,
Manifest!
can I please stop almost making yourself fall from here?
Unleash!
Okay, I don't know if I really like Shinhei's gameplay. I guess I'll take a bit of time to get used to it. Oh, hello.
Manifest!
Ooh.
By ordinance divine!
Alright. So those ice clones at first. Look like they stick around here. Okay, like keep that in mind. They don't move with you. Nice. Youngling. Oh, hold on. Wait, I know what to do. There we go. See her? Let me move to those. Can we just walk around wherever we want to, or? Yes, we can. I was thinking through the path I was in before. We're fine. Hold on. Sorry if I missed you earlier. Oh, Barrow. Welcome to the stream. Hope you're having a good day today. Let's see ya. Okay, we use a glider. There we go. Oh, I see a emote there. My day's alright. The baked cookies for my dad's birthday. Oh, that's nice. Hope you have fun, and I hope your dad has a great birthday.
It appears that we've been taken for intruders. This time, why not allow me to take care of this?
Alright, let's do this. Okay. Youngling, careful. No, hold on. Right.
You can run,
child.
But you can't hide.
Oh, gotta dodge that one. Hello.
The core of the mechanism is exposed. Now's our chance.
Alright. You got it. Child, let's do this. Almost there. Boom. Hope your day's good. It has been good, actually. I guess nothing really eventful. Oh no. Oh.
Is everyone okay? Look! Cecilia's disappeared beneath the clouds again!
I wasn't there.
It looks like we need
Unless
to
we're
go further
supposed to
down.
use our gliders there.
But before that, let's destroy the guard mechanisms on this level first.
But as I was going to say, my day has been alright.
Get them!
Not much eventful has really happened, but it was just a nice calm day. I get a way to get out of the way, sir. Alright. All that.
Riptide.
Gotta say, did a few sketches here and there, earlier this morning. And I went through it. Hopefully all the replies I got saw my latest,
We're gonna fall.
no.
We're really gonna fall. So high.
Okay.
Luckily, there was a pool of water at the bottom. Otherwise, that could have ended very differently.
Are you just game? Why do you gotta keep forcing me to fall?
Hey! That Sealy's on the move again. Let's catch up with it.
Alright, now I had time to actually talk. Like I said before, I was did a few sketches earlier this morning. Went through hopefully all the replies of my tweet from yesterday about me being a swamp dino. Hopefully all of them. Sometimes I'm happy for all the support I've gotten from it lately. Well, from those tweets lately, but sometimes I'm nervous that I'm missing people. Like, I get through all the ones I find in my notifications, but sometimes I worry that my Twitter notice might mess up every now and then and I forget somebody. I hope I don't.
Where I'm from, if we didn't keep moving, we'd freeze to death. Literally.
Those have been really fun to do lately.
Huh.
Quite a few friends from them, and I think 2 new dinosaur VTubers I didn't know about until today. I don't know. Guess we just keep pushing this thing around. Ooh, treasure chest. And that is it. I know what you mean. My Instagram notices are like that and I worry constantly. Same. I can't find it. I try to also go around the threads like annually and try to look through everything, but sometimes there's starting to get to the point that it's hard to really see which ones I'm missing and which ones I'm not. How do how do I move you to the... Oh wait, I can do this. Yeah, those tweets I've been doing.
No time to lose.
Been having a great time with them. I'm hoping that everyone else is enjoying them too. I shall keep going with, I guess, Chippy Ty's The Weird Adventures. Looks like... Yeah.
Do your master's bidding! Eat this!
I don't even remember when I decided to start doing them.
Bring it on. You can run,
but
you can't hide.
It feels weird to me how they've all of a sudden become, I guess, a really big part of who I am now.
No time
I need to pick up the shield. Yep. Alright, get rid of this. No. Oh no! Oh no! There are 2 of them. Alright. Okay, you can do this. Okay. Ow. Ow, ow, ow. Ow. You can do this, buddy. I guess everyone. Get everyone in here. Nope. We got one. And we got the other.
You can run, but you can't hide.
Riptide. There we go. Is that bad? Search for this. No, it was good. Alright, hello there, little sealy.
Look, over there! Could that be the Sunset Vermilionite?
Maybe. Alright, then let's go. And lead the way, little sealy. Hopefully nothing else happens while we're making our way up here. Fast. Nice. Go up here. Oh. Found it?
Is this it? Is this the Sunset Vermilionite? It's so huge!
So it should probably be this big to get the whole Jade Chamber airborne.
That's true, but then again, why isn't it floating?
Plaustrite doesn't float until it's activated. It may look different from most ordinary stones, but it weighs around the same amount. Only after being activated does Plaustrite reveal its true nature, breaking free from the shackles of the mortal realm and ascending up into the heavens.
Wow, Shenhe, you seem to know everything about this.
Only because my master is fond of chatting about these things. The moment she has some time to spare, she'll come straight for me and start telling story after story. I don't care for her stories most of the time. I certainly didn't expect them to ever come in handy like this.
Wonder who this master is. I know who it is. It's Cloud Retainer.
Hold on a sec. Paimon just realized something. If we activate it here, there's no way we'll be able to get it back to the site, right? Heck, we'll be dragged up into the sky too!
I mean, unless we can guide where it floats around. Then we can just, like, fly it back.
But if we don't activate it, how else are we gonna lift it? This rock must weigh well over 1,000 pounds, surely!
Don't worry. I can handle the weight quite easily.
Oh.
Are you sure? Be careful!
Please don't worry. I'm well aware that a plaustrite sample this large must be highly valuable. I will be gentle with it and make sure it does not get damaged.
She meant you, Shenhe.
My safety.
I'm guessing she's going to... I need to figure out how to word it. I'm guessing she's going to be like those anime main characters that could just carry around the most insane things that everyone else is saying, oh, you can't carry it, it's way too heavy, and they just casually hold it up with one hand.
That's right! Paimon's sure you can handle it and everything, but if something
okay, I
this
guess
heavy
she's just
lands
strong.
on you,
Yes,
you're gonna
super
get yourself hurt, no matter who you are. You gotta be extra careful when lifting heavy objects. It's just common sense.
Is it now? Well then, thank you. I'll go on ahead with the plaustrite. Let's meet at the building site later.
I really hope to see a pre-rendered cutscene with her just carrying it around and everyone just staring like it.
Holy Shenhe,
like
able to carry
astonishing.
that huge rock all by herself. Adepti super strength much?
Domain? And I don't know where the building site is. We'll find it.
We can't slow down yet. Let's go meet her at the building site.
Right, we should probably just teleport over there. Alright, I guess I'll teleport to this place and glide. I guess that works too. Oh, clothing. Actually put in the effort to, like, have the, like, everything here. Like, they could have easily just had it be, like, that white, like, spot and only have, all these assets for, like, cutscenes, but just actually have it as part of the world.
Oh my god, I can't believe my eyes.
How can she lift that massive rock all by herself? She's gotta be one of those adepti, surely.
Okay. We didn't actually get to see her carry it around, but it's still cool.
Oh, mighty Adeptus, please give me your blessing so that in the coming year I may reap a more bountiful salary.
This is top tier in size and quality, and the condition it's in is quite simply immaculate. Congratulations. This item is approved for submission. I'm going to award you full marks for the Sunset Vermilionite item. May I take your name?
My name isn't important. I'm not even here to compete. I was just delivering this for some other people. They should be here any minute now.
Yeah, here.
And Ningguang's little helper.
Ah, so you're the ones behind this. No wonder. The rarest talent turns in the rarest plaustrite specimen.
Thank you.
But I have to correct you on one point. It's not helper, it's secretary.
There's a difference? I'm just kidding.
Miss Secretary, what do you think of the rock we found? Pretty
In
Oh, whoops.
truth, it is the finest piece of plustrite we have received so far. If everything goes according to plan, we will use this piece in the foundation of the Jade Chamber, which will enable us to proceed to the next stage of construction. As a side note, Lady Ningguang has rented some dwellings in the nearby area to serve as accommodations for the contestants. If you need a place to rest, you are welcome to stay there.
Nah, it's fine. We got a teapot. For those of you who don't play Genshin Impact, this must be very confusing.
Now, please excuse me. As you can see, there is still a lot of work to do on the building site.
Shenhua! Shenhua! Just now on the way over, pretty much everyone was singing your praises!
Mm-hmm.
Oh, really?
What kind of reaction is that?
I'll
So strange.
I'll show you what I mean
Aren't you
in
happy
due
about
time.
it? Whenever Paimon gets praised, Paimon can't help but hold their head up high and break into a big smug smile.
I've had similar compliments before.
Hmm.
They call me an adeptus, treat me with great deference and respect, as if I'm set apart from the common folk.
Ah. I think I know where this is going.
Yeah, 'cause that's how Adepti are. At least the ones we've met are pretty unique and reclusive, too. Way different than normal people.
But I am not...
She's not really an adept on you, sure?
I'm fine. I've been exerting myself quite a lot ever since we set foot in that abode. I'm just a little fatigued.
Well, Byron said that there are some makeshift hotels we can use, right? Let's go check in and take a rest.
No need. I simply need to find myself a secluded place in the wilderness to sit and meditate in silence.
You can't do that. It's dangerous out in the wild on your own.
I don't think it's really that dangerous for her, but it's lonely.
When you're hungry, you go eat something tasty. And when you're tired, you go lie down in a nice, comfy bed. All right? Seriously, don't punish yourself like this.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. If you insist.
Great! Now we're talking. Let's head to our hotel.
Alright, but first, I want to show everyone what I was talking about earlier, since I know some of you aren't familiar with Genshin Impact. So you see this teapot here. And any second now. Any second now. Game load. And here we are. In this game, you can have a teapot where it holds an entire world for yourself to customize. And this is what I have. Not much, but it's good. It's a JoJo reference and a half.
Would you care to...
Alright, so I want to get all the stuff here. Alright. Nothing too interesting here.
If you ever...
I think I'll just... Wait, hold on. I need to go to Liyue. And let's go to the rest of the story. Yeah, but honestly, some of the things in this game are very weird and also very fun. She already knows I'm not the best with words, but it's just there are wacky things that go on here, and it's part of why I like it.
Yeah.
That'll be it. Thank you for the host. I appreciate it. Hello, sir. We're here for the hotel.
Hi there. Checking in, are we? You're just in time. We only have 2 rooms left. Since this was chosen as the building site for the new Jade Chamber, we've had a constant stream of people in this area. And not just workers either. Visitors, business people, tea sellers, all sorts.
Oh, alright, you gotta go, but you'll be hosting just to make sure you do. Thank you. And I hope you have a good day today. Thank you for having stopped by. And I'll talk to you later.
So, business is booming for me today. Very few vacancies. You're lucky you got here when you did.
Great!
One of your rooms is still being cleaned. I guess it should be ready within the hour. The other room is just at the door on the left. Here are your keys. All right. Hope you enjoy your stay. Please excuse me, I'll leave you to it.
Shenhe, you should go get some rest. We'll hang around outside until the other room's ready.
Or we could just hang out on our teapot. That is fine too.
Paimon's gonna go see if there's anything good to eat around here. Paimon couldn't help but notice one of the guests walk in with a huge grilled chicken drumstick before.
Ooh. Chimkin. I want the chimkin.
For Shenhe too. She can have it as a midnight snack. Or save it for breakfast tomorrow.
All right. I will head to my room for now. If you need anything, don't hesitate to disturb me. I'm a light sleeper. I will hear if you knock on the door.
Alright, have a good rest, Shenhe.
See you tomorrow.
Hey!
Huh?
Isn't that Cloud Retainer? What's she doing
There
here?
she is.
Let's go and say hi.
There we go. Hello, Cloud Retainer. How are you doing, friend?
No time to lose. One trusts you have met Shenhe. So, are you getting along quite well?
So far, so good. Yeah. So, you know Shenhe too, Cloud Retainer?
She's her master?
Naturally. Save for Ganyu, who spends the majority of her time in Liyue Harbor. All the Adepti living today are acquainted with Shenhe to some degree.
Cool. So, what's her Adeptus name anyway?
She's not an Adeptus, is she?
Calling her Shenhe feels kind of friendly, but also kind of disrespectful. So Paimon's thinking maybe it'd be better if we called her by her Adeptus name instead.
I mean, we call Xiao, and Ganyu just Ganyu. This wouldn't be the first time we did that.
Her Adeptus name. Why, pray tell, would Shenhe have an Adeptus name?
Don't all Adepti have a special title they go by?
Yep, she isn't one.
On this latter point, you are correct. However, Shenhe is human.
She only lived with the Adepti.
Oh, right. Wait, what?
I thought so.
What? You knew already? So is Paimon the only one who didn't know?
Well, I mean, you can't exactly go outside like of the fourth wall and see the trailers and such, but yeah, I knew.
Do you mean to say that she presents differently from ordinary human beings?
A bit, yes.
Well, to start with, her problem-solving methods are extremely direct.
Ah, yes. She was like this all those years ago when one first met her. In this respect, she has not changed. One first found Shenhe by chance in a cave. One was passing by and sensed the presence of a god's remains. Being of an ever-vigilant disposition, one entered immediately to inspect the scene. Inside was Shenhe, then aged around 6 years old. In her hand, she held a dagger with which she was confronting a monster that was the god's remains incarnate.
Oh.
That sounds so dangerous.
When one arrived, she had already been locked in confrontation with this monster for several days. Most mortal children are fragile, both physically and mentally, and are highly reliant on their parents for survival. But not so her.
I can imagine.
That she was able to endure such terrible danger was due not only to her strong willpower, but also to the bloodlust and homicidal instinct with which she was born.
Huh.
One dealt with the monster, yet she still refused to lower her guard. She even pointed her dagger in one's direction and remained ready to strike. Only after she was satisfied that one had no intention to cause her harm did she finally relent. She then passed out without uttering a single word.
In other words, if you hadn't passed by that day, Shenhe might have...
Not necessarily. Upon one's arrival, one could sense that the god's wrath was gradually receding. Even had the stalemate continued, one suspects that Shenhe may have still emerged the victor of the confrontation.
I wonder who she was fighting.
It's still so dangerous, though. Why was a tiny little kid battling against the wrath of a god in the first place?
Alas, the mortal world is rife with suffering of every kind. And she had experienced her fair share of this, even at a tender age. Seeing that she was homeless, one decided to adopt her.
So when Shenhe talks about her master, she means you?
Indeed.
Yep.
It is one to whom she refers. Shenhe has an extraordinary constitution, making her well adapted to practicing the Adepti arts. All the Adepti cherished her talents, and so we were willing to train her. However, her homicidal urges did not subside with age. Rather, they grew stronger day by day.
Oh.
Mooncarver once performed a divination for her. He declared that her fate is to bear the curse of calamity. Consumed by malevolent energy, she is prone to bring harm to those around her. Such is the magnitude of the danger this poses, that her soul must be bound with red ropes to keep her homicidal instinct at bay.
I remember, according to her lore, she came from an exorcist family that abandoned her because she was apparently a cursed child, as they called her. Guess this is what they meant.
The red ropes have indeed served to keep her calmer and more content. They also seem to have rendered her somewhat inexpressive. Perhaps the red ropes are so powerful that they have suppressed some of her other emotions as well.
What?
It is only by fate that people's paths may cross. Now that Shenhe's path has crossed with yours, please be sure to treasure the gift that fate has given you, and take good care of her.
Alright. Why were they looking at either the floor or just that, the rock we got just now?
Paimon gets it. You came out
Something
here
supposed to be
check
there?
up on Shenhe because you were worried about her, didn't you?
Huh. You dare draw such a facile conclusion on the nature of one's present excursion? Incorrect. The truth is that while Liyue Harbor may seem peaceful today, danger is always lurking in the shadows.
Really?
Ningguang once made a bold assertion that this is to be the era of the contract between Liyue and the humans. Well, one is most curious to observe how she will respond to the coming storm.
So Sayo coming back?
If she handles it admirably, one is willing to be a witness to her achievements. But if she does not, the Adepti shall not hesitate to seize control.
Or you guys could just work together.
Let us conclude our conversation here for today. One has occupied enough of your time, and night is approaching. Be sure to get ample rest.
I will. Plus, it's kind of raining. If there's hair, it's all wet.
Shenhe isn't an Adeptus after all. She just grew up around the Adepti.
Alright, so. Time to travel through time. Still kind of wonder how this mechanic works, like, canonically. Like, are we just standing still the whole time is passing, or is everything just moving like the days moving extremely fast for everyone else? There you are.
So, Shenhe,
We spoke with Cloud Retainer and...
Master has relayed my situation to you, I take it?
Yes, pretty much.
Oh? How did you know?
I'd intended to wait until you came back before going to sleep, but I didn't hear you come in. I was worried that something may have happened to you, so I went outside to check and caught sight of my master.
Oh, is that why they were... Cloud Retainer was looking over, like... over to, like, what I thought was the ground earlier? I guess I missed something.
On top of this, you have been acting very strangely around me this morning, causing me to suspect that my master must have told you everything about me. After all, Master is... very talkative.
Yeah. God, you could probably tell you stories about that.
Sorry, Shenhua. Paimon had you down as an adeptus this whole time, but it turns out Paimon was wrong.
It's okay. I don't mind. The fault is mine for not explaining everything to you sooner, because in my experience, trying to explain is a futile pursuit. Still, though you mistook me for an adeptus, you never treated me as distant and unapproachable. Instead, you treated me as you would a friend. For this, I am very grateful indeed.
To be fair, we've met our fair share of real adepti, too. Anyway, now it's settled. From now on, you're our friend. Whether you're an adeptus or a human isn't the important thing. First and foremost, we're just plain old friends.
Exactly. I mean, we're even casually friends with Archons, which are a step above adepti, I'd say, in godhood.
Got it. Although I don't know quite what it entails in terms of what I have to do, I must say I like the title friend very much indeed.
So did the adepti not use the word friend much?
Great!
Either,
well, now that we're all rested up, we should start searching for the other 2 items on the list. But before we do that, let's go to the building site and ask Ningguang's little helper how the progress is going. After all, Sunset Vermilionite is so rare. Paimon doubts many competitors will really be able to find any. If it turns out some of them have given up already, we'll be able to take things a little more slowly.
I will say this whole...
And another thing, we bought some grilled chicken drumsticks on the way back last night. There was a place just outside. Here's one for you, Shenhua. Try it! They're so good.
I concur. It has a rich flavor, far more agreeable than those I've cooked for myself in the wilderness in the past.
I'm glad you look. I saw Beto and then a new character, Yunjin, I think.
Look,
the opera singer, right?
The Jade Chamber is floating into the sky! But it seems to be tied down by something.
That's because it's not finished.
Hey, Bywin! And hey, Beto! And
Yep, it is Beto.
Person Paimon doesn't know?
Yunjin, hello.
Given the
Nice to
enormous
meet you for the
scale of
first
the
time.
Jade Chamber, we split the construction work into 2 phases to make sure the structure remains balanced. Before we find some suitable plastrite, we build the Jade Chamber's keel at ground level. Once the plastrite is ready, we place it into the keel and let the partially constructed Jade Chamber rise up to the height of the surrounding mountain peaks. The remainder of the construction work is then carried out at that altitude. Once everything is ready, we release the iron tethers and allow the Jade Chamber to rise to its target altitude.
I like how they Genshin can mix science and like magic all together fairly well.
We've brought some new materials to submit.
It's not magic, but like fantasy stuff.
One moment, I'll be right there. The construction work has only been able to progress this rapidly thanks to the plastrite provided by you. Lady Ningguang is most grateful and looks forward to seeing more of your work.
Wow, can't believe you sourced the plastrite so quickly. It's the key piece of the puzzle. Looks like you beat us to the punch.
Yeah, we are the main characters, so naturally.
Beto, you're joining the Jade Chamber contest too?
Sure am. I happened to get my hands on a chunk of Sunset Vermilionite on a voyage a while back, so I figured I'd bring it over.
Interesting.
Huh. So even though it's rare, we're not the only ones who managed to get a hold of it.
Seems that way.
Oh, I've got some introductions to do. This is the renowned Miss Yun, or Yunjin, probably the most famous figure in the Liyue opera scene.
Indeed it is. Well, she is.
Greetings.
Hello.
These two are Paimon and the Traveler, both good buddies of mine. And this is... sorry, not sure we've met.
Another new character. This is Shenhe, by the way.
Shenhe. I am their friend.
Good to meet you. A friend of a friend is my friend too. Or, as I like to say, a mate of a crewmate is part of the crew.
Mm-hmm. I will say that I don't know why Beta wants to be part of the contest. Like, I guess it might be fun for her, but she talks with Ningguang pretty casually compared to most people. And one of the rewards is just, like, talking with her. I don't know what much incentive she really has to do
Miss Yun is also here for the contest. Turns out she needed to borrow a boat, so we came together.
It's an honor to finally meet you both. I've heard much about you. Miss Shenhe, though we are only meeting for the first time, I have a feeling that we will get along very well indeed. To be honest with you all, I am in great need of this opportunity to ask Lady Ningguang a question. That's why I joined the contest. Thanks to my father's connections, I was able to acquire a specimen of the plaustrite required.
Nice.
Fortunately, it was approved for submission, despite being a little on the diminutive side. Wow. So it looks like the three of us are competitors now.
I suppose so.
Excuse me for prying, Miss Shenhe,
But friendly competition,
are you
hopefully.
competing as well?
I think she's more like she's just helping us.
No, I don't have any questions for Ningguang. I just wanted to help him win.
In that case, I have a proposal to make. Lady Ningguang said that the first 3 contestants to procure all 3 materials will be awarded the chance to ask a question. Well, there are 3 teams here. We can split the prize between us.
Oh wait, so are I guess Yunjin and Beidou are like their own separate teams, I guess? If there's 3 different teams. Mishina and Paimon are 1. Yeah, they have to each be 1 then. I guess Beidou has the Crux fleet, and I guess Yunjin has like other opera members?
Instead of competing against each other, we could work together to secure the top 3 places between us. What do you think?
That could work,
Sounds great, but how does that change things exactly?
I think I see where you're going with this, Miss Yun. The plaustrite was the most difficult item to source by a long shot. Luckily, all 3 of us managed to get our hands on it. The 2 remaining items aren't quite so rare, so as long as one of us finds a way to source it, the other 2 can hop on the bandwagon. How'd I do? Is that what you had in mind?
Precisely.
We could use each other's resources as our own.
Interesting approach.
Okay then. All right, I'll go first. I have some leads on these wonder cores. From what I've heard, the core itself is really not that difficult to make. The hard part is getting hold of the ore used as raw materials. I'm gonna head back to the ship and ask Suling if he's heard of them. You guys...
We will head into town and seek advice from Master Zhang of Hanfeng's Ironmongers. Thoughts?
Alright, sounds
Wonderful.
good. I don't know who that is.
We'll split into teams then, and
Guessing
whoever
he's the
makes
blacksmith
progress
guy.
first brings all of us a step closer to victory. I'm gonna take off. See you later.
See ya, Beto.
Okay, let's go! By the way, what question are you gonna ask Ningguang Yunjin? I'm looking for a venue to host the performance of our new opera. Lady Ningguang has excellent judgment, so I would like to hear her opinion.
Alright, that makes sense.
What's the opera called? Paimon wants to go see it. The opera is a labor of love by my father. He wrote it based on a popular urban legend about an evil spirit and an adeptus.
Ooh.
It's called The Divine Damsel of Devastation.
Interesting. Alright, so we need to ask Master Zhang about Wonder Cores. Teleport straight to Liyue Harbor. And we need to go check up on him. Some tough stuff I need to collect. I'll take that. Nice. Up. Give me a collect that. Alright. Hello, sir. Hello, sir. Alright. Do that.
Ah, hello. Are you here for something off the shelf, or do you need something forged?
Excuse me, Master Zhang. We were wondering if you'd heard of something called a Wonder Core.
Of course I have. Sorry, who's asking?
Alright.
My name is Yunjin. Perhaps you don't know me, but I believe that you forged some weaponry for my father in the past, for stage use.
Yunjin? Stage use? Oh, so you must be Miss Yoon. I'm sorry. My brain's finally caught up. It's not used to doing much beyond bashing a hammer all day. Everyone's heard of you, Miss Yoon. Even folks who don't make it to the opera all that often. Like myself. So, you're here to ask about Wonder Cores, huh? As it happens, I do know how to make them. Matter of fact, I made some for Lady Ningguang back when she was building the original Jade Chamber. The types of ore needed to make Wonder Cores are a little hard to come by. Lady Ningguang supplied them herself last time. I don't suppose you've brought any yourselves?
I mean, I do have quite a few ores already. Depends on what kind you're looking for.
We were gonna ask you what kinds of ore we need.
Sure. Well, you'll need two kinds. Star Splinter Iron and Subrosium.
I don't know what
If I remember correctly, Lady Ningguang sourced her Star Splinter Iron from the Mount Tianheng area. They say it resonates
thank you for
with
following.
visions.
Welcome to the stream. Hope you're having a lovely day today. Good to see ya. Hey, hello. How have you been?
It could take some
Hope you're having a
work,
good day, huh?
but if you stick with it, you'll find some
I think I will,
eventually. As for the Subrosium, though, that's trickier. It's all but unheard of on the market.
Where should we start?
I'm really not sure. Sorry. What I've heard is that the people around Mount Tianheng have some sort of magic trick
Are
that
you
can
doing
pinpoint
okay?
the
That's
location
good.
of the stuff.
A bit tired. A lot of house chores done. That's good, and I hope you get plenty of rest soon. As for me, I'm doing very good today. Just going through this story from the latest Genshin Impact story. The new update seems pretty interesting. The story does feel a bit slow sometimes, but I mean, it's interesting getting to know Shenhe a bit. Nice. I'm about to do that myself. See? Excited about the update, me too. I think there's also something new that's been added to Inazuma, but I haven't focused much on it.
Of course, it's probably just hearsay. If you want my advice, start by looking for Star Splinter Iron around Mount Tianheng. And if you run into any locals, ask them a few questions about Subrosium.
Is it Shenhu or Shenhe? I've heard both. Right now I'm just pronouncing her as like Shenhe, but I don't think mine is correct. I heard how Shenhe, well, how she pronounces her name in game, but I already forgot what it was. I'm kind of bad with names, unfortunately.
Mount Tianheng.
Well, gotcha.
Interestingly enough, the story of the divine damsel of devastation also takes place on that mountain.
Hopefully they can say her name again later on, so we can know the exact canonical pronunciation.
I hear the view there is quite spectacular. A favorite destination of the Adepti, in fact.
Union's voice is so pretty. Agreed. I don't know how to describe it, but I guess I don't know how to say it besides just it sounds nice and it's very calming to me. I'm not good with words, but
Perhaps
I
you
think
can
there's
give
better
me
ways
some
to describe it.
inspiration. Let's not delay. We should head straight there.
Yeah, it's like relaxing. Alright, so then you go to Mount Tianheng. There we go. Luckily, it's not too far away from teleport waypoint this time around.
No time to lose.
I came to Mount Tianeng once with my father as a child. I remember it being such a long climb that I could barely feel my legs by the time we reached the top. This is quite a trip down memory lane for me. Look at these majestic towering peaks and the gently flowing streams. It's like setting foot in paradise. No wonder the legend of the divine damsel of devastation is said to have taken place here. Adepti wander oft where mortals seldom stride. Indeed, this looks like a place that one might expect to be frequented by Adepti. The divine damsel of devastation is your upcoming opera, right? And the story takes place in Mount Tianheng. Huh. Seems like you have a real connection with this place. What's the story about, though? It's
That is
the
interesting.
story of a girl becoming a hero.
I think I actually remember her saying something like that in her character trailer.
Cool. A hero
I think.
story?
I might be wrong.
Paimon's favorite! The legend first arose in this area. It is said that there used to be a prosperous village on the mountain.
Let's see.
In that village, there was a loving couple who were completely devoted to one another. One day, a terrifying monster appeared. The wife was out collecting herbs and was captured by the monster. Her husband was so distraught at the news that it broke his spirit and drove him to madness. The vile and vicious monster told the villagers, "If you want to live, you must sacrifice a child to me." What a nasty piece of work! Paimon sure hopes this monster gets put in its place!
It's about someone becoming a hero, so I hope so.
But the monster was so terrible and so strong that all within the village were terrified of it. They had no choice but to give in to the monster's demand. Just while they were discussing whose child would be given over to the monster, a little girl suddenly stood up and came forward. No! Don't do it, little girl! Unbeknownst to anybody else, she was concealing an exorcist's blade. She approached the monster's lair, feigning fear and trepidation. When she finally arrived, she courageously drew her sword and entered into a fierce struggle with the monster, from which she eventually emerged as the victor.
Okay, I think I'm noticing something connecting here. So a little girl, right, with some sort of blade, is going into a lair fighting a big monster. Sounds a lot like the story that or at least Cloud Retainer said about Shinhub. About when she was a little girl and she had a small dagger and she was fighting like a monster that was like, or a god, something among those lines. I have a small theory that this whole thing might be, like the story might be based around her.
Her extraordinary abilities drew the attention of the Adepti.
I might be insane.
Her as one of their own. Her story became the stuff of legends. But alas,
thank you for the host and the raid. Hope you're having a good day today. Thank you for stopping by.
And she would never again re-enter the mortal world.
Hello to everyone else too for stopping by the stream. Hope you're all having a great day today. Thank you, Temmie on Twitch for the follow. Hello. And hello, Sunny-san. I'm sorry I couldn't stick by your stream earlier today. But thank you for stopping by it. The few minutes where I could stick by, it was fun seeing you play that game. I don't remember what it was called. It looks fun. So I hope that stream went well and that all of you had a good time there.
And so, destined to grace the mortal realm for but a brief moment, she vanished like a wisp of smoke into thin air. That's how the opera ends.
I'm gonna look at Shinha and see her reaction to it.
I really like this story.
That sounds like her.
But I personally think that perhaps the little girl was not as brave as the opera makes her out to be.
So how's your stream going? I think it's going pretty good. We're just going through the latest story for Genshin Impact that's come with the new update so far. It's interesting, to say the least. And we've already met both of, I guess, the big new characters that have been revealed. Like Jenna here, and then Yujin back there.
I'm not sure she deserves all the praise she is given.
It might be a bit slow so far, but it's fun getting to know these characters at least. And if the trailer's anything to go by, some actions just start coming around very soon. Lethal Chart, never really played or kept up with this game. Well, it's Genshin's pretty fun if you do ever decide to like get into it. There are a few things people probably complain about here and there, but I personally really enjoy it. It's really up to you.
I've never considered that before. Opera is always an interpretation of the events it purports to portray. A certain degree of deviation from the truth is always inevitable. When my father wrote the script for this play, I suppose his intention was to inspire his audience with the character of the divine damsel.
I hope that you're doing well as well. I say that I am. I'm having a good time here with all of you guys, chatting and playing this game.
I think it's a great story.
Nice.
The ideal story.
Well, it sure inspired Paimon! Let's go get ourselves some Star Splinter Iron! Yeah!
Alrighty. Alright, we need to use vision. So I mean use elemental sight. We aren't carrying any visions on us. Hello? Oh, there, sir. Don't mind me. Just take you guys out.
Who's next? No time to lose.
Oh, that's up and over. Think so. This Star Splinter Iron. Alright, so we need to find the other one. We don't really need to use a vision to find these, we just need to look around.
This should be enough Star Splinter Iron. Now we just need to find that Subrosium.
Right,
I think I saw a village on our way here.
You go over here
Master
to
John
ask someone
said
about
we should ask the
Subrosium.
locals for help. Why don't we try there?
There you are. Hello, sir? Need to ask you about something.
Hey, there really is someone here.
Oh, there we go.
Yunjin, looks like you were right. Excuse us, sir. Can we ask you something?
Yes. Okay.
He didn't seem to catch that. Hello, sir. We were just passing by and wanted to ask if you happen to know anything about Subrosium.
You okay?
Is he trying to tell us to look for clues in the village? Well,
Oh,
whatever.
hello.
Guess we're on our own here.
Thank you to Neko for following. Welcome to the stream. Thank you for stopping by, and I hope you're having a great day today.
Shenhua, Yunjin, let's have a look around.
Sorry, you can go ahead without me. I'd like to have a word with this gentleman.
Okay.
If that's okay with you, Uncle Mingjin.
Oh?
It's...
Hello?
Shenhe.
Oh, okay. So, alright. Mincy, if you're still streaming, we got the official pronunciation here. Jingsa. Shense. Jingsa. I already forgot. Shense. I'm good. That is good to hear. Nice.
Shenhe.
Shenhe.
You're alive. The rumors were true. So, all these years?
Shenhe. I want to remember it, but I feel like I'm going to forget already.
I'm sorry, I don't know how to find Subrosium. But I think you can find some information in the village. This place is deserted now. No one ever comes here. So you can rummage around all you want.
I mean, normally I come around here to farm treasure hoarders.
Huh?
Because there's usually tons of them around here. Yeah.
Thank you, kind sir. We'll go and take a look around. Don't worry. Mingjun has no ill intention towards Miss Shenhe. She'll be quite safe. Okay, then let's see what we can find in this village.
Alright, so let's look around here. Search for records left behind. There we go. I have French family of exorcists.
The remains of a god. An abandoned village. Mount Tianheng.
Let's see. Yeah, he's been around 2 weeks. Daughter. Oh. So I'm guessing this is the family that, I forgot Shenhe was originally from.
Does this mean that the true story of the divine damsel of devastation happened right here, in this village?
Possibly.
The time frame certainly matches, so it seems we're in the right area. Let's keep looking around.
Alright. Search for more records. Village.
Yep.
Everything seems to be around here. Search for records stuff. It's oh, there. Right over here. Hold on. Let's get it.
Huh. What's this?
Okay. It is based. I knew it.
So, Shenhe is the divine damsel?
Seems that way, and I was right. I was right earlier.
She does behave rather like an adeptus, and she is about the right age. So that's why I've been getting the strangest feeling whenever I chat with her. I should have noticed it earlier. According to this text, the divine damsel from the opera was actually the daughter of the loving couple. And she didn't volunteer. She was sacrificed to the monster by her own father. Oh, the truth is even more lamentable than the opera. Now I understand why Shenhe said the girl was not as brave as people think. It wasn't her choice to enter that ghastly situation. She was forced into it. Oh, it looks like my father may need to make a few revisions to his beloved opera.
That seemed like it.
We've looked everywhere, but still no mention of Subrosium.
Love how
Let's have a look over there.
after this big emotional moment, that's what everyone's thinking about right now. Okay, so I want to get this. And we continue searching for records concerning ore. What's in here?
This is it!
Alright, magic engrave. Alright, legend has it you may find Subrosium if you stand in the middle of the lake, south of Mount Matana at dusk and look in the direction of the setting sun.
So basically, we need to go to the middle of the lake south of Mount Tianheng at dusk, and we'll find us some Subrosium! Let's go back and tell Shenhe the news!
Okay. Dusk, middle of a lake near Mount Tian. Okay, we can do that. Hello? Is everything alright with you guys?
One year when I was back visiting, I heard a story about a white-haired adeptus from a merchant passing by. I never imagined it was you. I was a very close friend of your father's. I could have stopped him from performing the summoning ritual. I had plenty of chances, but I couldn't bring myself to stand up to him. I just let things happen, let it all escalate. And, well, we all know how that story ended. I bring flowers back here every year. And each time I wish I had a chance to apologize to you.
Well, I mean, now you can, right?
Apologize for what? If you'd stopped him, he'd only have found another way.
Oh.
There is nothing he wouldn't have done for his true love. Nothing.
Do you still hate him?
I don't know what I feel. I'm told my fate is to bear the curse of calamity, so my master bound my soul with red ropes to curb my aggression. But it also dampened my emotions, making me dispassionate, like the Adepti. So if you ask me how I feel about the past, if I hate my father or not, the truth is, I feel nothing at all.
Oh.
It must have been so tough for you all these years.
Shenhe, we're back!
Hi.
Oh, and I will leave you all in peace.
Oh. Thank you, Weasel Chart.
It brings me some
for,
solace knowing that you are okay.
To follow.
I'll tell you more about the old times next time we meet.
Thanks, mister. We found some info in the end.
Mm-hmm. Okay, bye, sir.
Shenhe, look. This tells us how to find Subrosium. All we gotta do is go to the middle of that lake.
Let's go then.
Probably do want to talk to her about that.
Miss Shenhe, there's something I'd like to talk to you about.
Yeah.
Just now, in the village, we found your father's diary. It turns out that many of the details in the Divine Damsel of Devastation are not true to the facts. So I'd like to change them.
Why?
I know I say that opera always deviates from the truth, but now that the main character is standing right here in front of me, I cannot simply dismiss your lived experience in favor of my father's fiction.
It's okay. I like your version. My master once said that the day I learn how to use my strength for the good of others is the day that I can truly become part of human society. So, I hope that one day I might be brave enough to stand up and protect others, just like the girl in the opera. But I've never thought this way before, and I wonder whether I will continue to think in this way.
Don't worry. I believe you will. In fact, I think maybe you've already started to become the person you aspire to be. You just haven't had the opportunity to see it for yourself yet.
Shenhe, Yunjin, cut the chit-chat. Let's go.
Okay, I guess that's fair.
We
but
can't let someone else beat us to it.
I mean, I was liking the character interaction between them. I guess it was a bit time-consuming. I guess. Well, I'll take my leave for the moment. Hope your stream keeps going well.
No time to lose.
All right. I hope you have a good rest of your day then. Thank you for stopping by. Alright.
I could get used to this.
Here. Evening around 17. This is close enough. You only need to wait a little bit. And when you look at... Alright, that's just for that. That's that for us normally. Oh! I saw someone... But I see someone there. Is that Xiao? Come on, I think that's Xiao there. Hey, Alpha, welcome to the stream. Hope you're doing good. Okay, and I see that. A sec. I don't. Hold on, I don't know how to do it. Hello, I know how to just, like, block him, but... Oh, wait, you think my mic is... Wait, hold on. Wait, can anyone still... Wait, like, you can't hear me, right? Oh, I actually lurk here, so... I just won't be interacting as much. Oh, alright then. Well, it'll be nice to have you around, even if you don't talk. It's nice knowing that you're still hanging about here.
No time to lose.
And it looks like Zhao is here. Hello, Zhao.
What brings you here? Have they found a solution to the danger in the sea?
What danger?
Ningguang didn't tell you. Something has happened in Guyan Stone Forest. According to the contract, as an Adeptus, I should not get involved for now.
Nice. Your voice is here. Oh, okay. Huh. That's weird. Okay, so you can hear me, but... hopefully there isn't anything wrong with Alpha's device right now. Oh, you had the tab muted. Okay. Okay. I'm glad there wasn't anything wrong with my mic. But still, even though it was a false alarm, I'm glad that you told me that you think that I was muted than just saying nothing. It'd be very embarrassing if I actually did go these almost past 2 hours muted.
But these things can be unpredictable. I have a contingency plan of my own.
What you got in mind, Zhao?
Only a single mountain lies between here and Liyue Harbor. If things get out of control, I will defend this place myself.
Okay, you do you then, Zhao.
No time to lose.
I'll grab this.
That's everything we need! Let's head back and report in!
Alright, but,
Ivan's curious if Beto's made any progress.
Bye, Zhao, and give for talking with me. I don't know why he... like, I only went up to him because I saw him, but it didn't seem like there was anything story-wise driving me to go there. I don't know, it makes me wonder if... For one thing, if I were other Adepti hanging around the whole time that I didn't notice. What he was talking about.
Goodness.
Hello, Mr. Shang.
So, are they okay?
This is some top quality ore you found.
Ooh.
I think I'll get a good end product out of these. Guess now it's
it.
my time to shine.
Hey everyone, how's the A-team doing?
We are doing good. How are things with you, Beto?
I ran into a bit of a brick wall on my end. Suling's never seen a Wonder Core before, and says it'd take a lot of research for him to get up to speed.
Leave
That's
the
a
Wonder
shame.
Cores to me. I'll work on them while you go about your business. Don't worry. It won't take me too long.
Much obliged, Master Zhang. We should look into the Adepti sigils next, but where should we find items relating to the Adepti?
Talk to the Adepti?
I'll sort that out.
Yeah.
You got this then?
Yes. I have been training with the Adepti for years. I know a thing or two about making sigils.
I see.
When we first met, I told you I came for the Jade Chamber, not the contest. In fact, I came specifically to deliver Adepti sigils. Master heard that Ningguang was planning to rebuild the Jade Chamber, so she sent me to deliver some Adepti sigils to her.
That's nice.
Master also said she hoped that I can take this opportunity to rejoin human society. But now that I'm here, I wonder if I've been removed from the world for too long. There's so much basic knowledge that I lack.
I mean, I think you're learning quite a bit.
Maybe it won't work for me to stay here after all. But either way, I'm very glad to have met you. and I'll take care of those Adepti sigils.
Without knowing the ins and outs of your situation, I can't say whether you should stay or not. But now that our paths have crossed, we'll always have a connection. So if you're ever feeling down, come find me on my ship. There'll be a drink waiting for you.
That's better
Thank
for you.
you. So, Master Zhang, I'll need to use your facilities to make the sigils.
Fine by me. I'm actually curious to see how the Adepti arts work. Maybe I'll learn something.
Alright, so we already have both of the other things we need then.
The sigils are ready. Though they are in some respects inferior to my master's, I can assure you there will be no quality issues.
Alrighty, good.
I've finished forging the things you asked for, too.
Great! Let's go submit them before someone else gets there ahead of us.
Alright. I mean, we're the main characters, so... I mean, we should be able to get there first. At least something will happen that will make us... like,
no time to
the
lose.
first 3 winners. I'm open, at least.
No time to lose.
Alright. Alright, we need to go. Alright. Hello? Miss Secretary?
Ningguang's little secretary! We found all the materials!
Mm-hmm.
Oh, already? All 3 of you found them together.
Yep.
Okay, I see. The Wonder Cores and Adepti sigils look good. It seems that we found our winners.
Alright, nice.
I hereby announce that the winners of this material procurement contest are the Traveler, Yunjin, and Beidou.
What? It's over already? I haven't even found the plus strike yet.
Snooze you lose, sir.
I can't believe it.
So close, but so far.
I'd like to invite our 3 winners to please proceed to the Jade Chamber, where Lady Ningguang is waiting for you.
I'll be happy to do so.
Where's Beidou? She was
Wait,
right
what?
here.
Captain Beidou has some business to attend to. She will join later. Please come with me for now.
Okay.
Alright then. Guess we'll
Let's get
head on
on.
up to the Jade Chamber first. This has been a long time coming. The last time we went up to the Jade Chamber was ages ago.
Yep, we have to throw it down to defeat an ocean god. Okay. Oh, just teleport.
No time to lose.
Hello, Ningguang.
Combine the Adepti sigils with the Wonder Cores and insert them into the Jade Chamber's control compartment. The construction of the new Jade Chamber is now officially complete. Once the tethers are released, it will soar into the sky.
Nice.
Thank you all for your work. Now it is time for me to fulfill my promise.
Alrighty.
Yeah.
Miss Yun, I've already heard something about the reason for your involvement. You are looking for a venue for your new opera, aren't you?
Mm-hmm.
That's right.
She is.
Lady Ningguang, I would like to hear your opinion.
The unveiling of Miss Yun's grand new opera surely requires a venue of equal grandeur. So what would you say if I proposed that we stage your first performance right here, in the newly built Jade Chamber?
That'd be a good place.
The Jade Chamber offers a splendid panoramic view of the mountains and the bustling city. It is fitting for the finest performance to be hosted in the heavens. I can think of no better stage for you than here, Miss Yun.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you, Lady Ningguang. Then I will prepare my props and other articles shortly. Please allow me to bring all these aboard the Jade Chamber.
You're quite welcome. It's truly what a good opera deserves.
Oh, a traveler, Shenhe, Paimon, I'll be leaving now. Do come
Alrighty.
and see my play when the time comes.
Will do.
You're
Now it's our
next.
turn, right?
What is your question? I should clarify. I do not know your sister's whereabouts.
Ah.
Please, don't waste your question on this matter.
Yeah, I figured.
Wow. You're a mind reader, Ningguang. Oh well. Guess Paimon will ask a question then.
Alrighty.
Managing a successful business is not as simple as you might think. Capital, connections, sensitivity to the trends, and instinct for what is a good opportunity. All of these traits are crucial. If you want to know how to make money, I will honor our agreement and give you an answer. But that is not to say that it will work for you.
Wow. Paimon hadn't even asked the question yet.
She really is a mind reader.
Your question was written all over your face. Now look, you helped me rebuild the Jade Chamber, and I intend to repay you handsomely for it. So I promise you that should you one day require financial assistance, you may seek employment here.
Ooh.
I will pay you at the highest rate of remuneration.
Great! So next time we run out of Moro, we just need to come to Ningguang?
Nice.
No more questions from us. Shenhe, you got a question?
She's not a competitor, but she does want one then.
Me?
Yes, this is a group effort.
Thank you. But I don't have anything to ask.
Oh, later. Alright. Well, bye then, and I hope you have a good rest of your day. Thank you for stopping by.
Are you sure? This is a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity. I'd urge you not to squander it.
Yeah, just don't waste it. Hold on a second. Paimon can probably think of another one.
It is Shenje's question, you know.
Lady Ningguang, do you think I can ever fit in Liyue Harbor?
That is a good one to ask.
Now that is an interesting question. Liyue Harbor is very inclusive. As long as you respect the rules here, you will not be turned away. So, the key is whether or not you yourself can develop a sense of belonging in Liyue Harbor.
A sense of belonging?
Yes. To become fond of a place, to feel part of it, it always requires a reason. Perhaps someone you've met, or something you've experienced here. Or perhaps you enjoy the atmosphere of Liyue, and you will become accustomed to it. In short, everyone needs a reason to stay.
Makes sense.
I hope you can find yours soon.
I see.
Hey, what's going on?
Hey, there you are,
I just
Beto.
went to see the fleet. I'm a little later than expected.
Come on, Beto. It's your turn. Do you have a question for Ningguang?
Me? Nah, I ain't got any questions.
Ah.
She forced me to help out, so I figured I may as well get involved with the contest. Ningguang.
Makes sense.
Don't forget what we talked about. It's not going to be easy to deal with. I don't think my fleet can take it on their own.
So there is something going on.
Don't worry. I have made preparations. The wound dressings are ready, and the Millilith have set up an ambush.
Aizo mentioned the wound dressings. They're... Alright, so whatever Xiao and everyone else had, collaborated were mentioning about a danger coming up, Ningguang already knows about it.
Glad to hear it. Watch your back. Stay alert.
I guess Beto technically
Ningguang, what are you talking about?
You'll see when the Jade Chamber ascends. However, it's not the most pleasant topic of conversation. Maybe it's better that you don't know.
Are we going to have to drop another Jade Chamber on Osayo again?
When I first set foot in the Jade Chamber, I
Oh.
stood at the edge of the platform and looked down upon Liyue Harbor far below. At that time, I dreamed that one day the Jade Chamber's shadow would be seen in all 7 nations of Tevat. My wish has not changed to this very day. However, it is not only out of consideration for myself that I have built the Jade Chamber anew at this time. I hope the Jade Chamber will always float in the skies above Liyue Harbor, bearing witness to the prosperity and peace of the human world. And I hope that you can all witness it with me. Let the Ascension ceremony commence!
Alright. Oh, it's a pre-rendered cutscene too. Nice. Looks good. Oh. Oh no. There it is. Okay, well, it's not Osayo. So, it's something similar. Oh.
Liyue, the Avenger of the Vortex, Baish.
Who is that?
Osial's wife.
Oh.
Final follower of the Overlord of the Vortex.
Sounds like you knew this was coming.
Osial had a wife?
Beidou sensed something was stirring in the deep. She warned me months ago. Knowing she harbors hatred toward the Jade Chamber, I chose to rebuild it now as a way of drawing her out.
Ah.
Got it. Well, let's go fetch the Adepti.
No.
Huh?
In this human age, the people of Liyue must find a way to overcome this crisis on our strength alone.
Oh, alright then. This looks cool though. I'm catching there. Oh my god, you. Oh. They put a lot of effort into this cut. Oh, and there's the Crux fleet too.
All hands, a tsunami incoming!
Oh no. Can the gatekeeper fly any higher?
A giant wave!
Alright, Aether, what you gonna do? Oh. Oh. Okay. Oh. That was not a good idea. Jump straight into a kaiju's energy blast. Jenna, this is your chance.
You are a cursed child. Your life brings nothing but disaster to us all. At least if you die, I can bring her back.
The day you learn how to use your strength for the good of others is the day that you can truly become part of human society.
Alright, Jenna, this is your moment. I like where this is going. Nice, nice. Oh. And oh. Slow. Are we going to play as Shenhe and actually fight this monster ourselves? Hold on.
What are you doing here?
We can't let you be the only one taking this risk.
Oh, and we're here too.
I hardly see this as a great risk. The people of Liyue Harbor are well prepared, and she is already badly injured. Only sheer willpower is keeping her alive. I may be nearing the end of my stamina, but in a fight to the death, I think I have the upper hand.
Oh, we could just do this.
We'll help too.
Okay. I hear my dog barking. What the family member? Help put this out. Oh no! Oh! There are multiple. There are many enemies here. Oh no! I can attack them, right? Yep. Oh no! Where are I see movement there? All right. Oh. Fire, right, fire arrows, let's go. Come on, come on. Oh, hold on, go over here. Oh, no, I messed this up. Going.
Better watch it.
Can Oz attack from here, or I don't think he can. Can he attack you? Doesn't seem like it. I want to heal up during the hit. Alright. Official. Okay. Alright, we attack this head over here. Oh no. Oh. Ow. I messed that up.
For the wicked.
Come on. Okay, all heads are pretty low then. Alright. Alright, see the bubbles coming? Alright. Oh! I got hit by it. Alright. Oh no. Oh no. I already dodged off though. Just one head away. And we can't damage those. Oh, oh, oh no. Oh, 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 oh. Oh no.
I had only just...
Alright. Good job back in here. Oh.
That didn't count.
Up. Come on.
A mystic reprise.
There we go.
Time for a light show. She's getting away. Shouldn't we go after her?
This place is unstable. It is too risky to continue pursuing her.
Right.
If the place collapsed, the consequences would be disastrous. Let's head back.
Alright, so there's no chest either, so... Okay, that's pretty tough though. We lost a child. But then again, we didn't exactly heal up before the fight, so... Maybe I could have done it with no casualties. If we had healed up before. Who's to say? You alright, Jenna?
I'm just a little exhausted.
Jenna?
Otherwise, fine. I wanted to deal with it myself. I didn't expect you to follow me.
Okay, but can we talk about how awesome that last cutscene was?
Don't worry. She's not coming back anytime soon. After an injury like that, she'll likely seek refuge somewhere else.
How did things go underwater?
Yeah, good.
It's been dealt with. She was injured before entering the water. It didn't take too much effort to finish the job.
True.
Good. So the crisis has been safely averted. When you visit the Jade Chamber in the future, you will be afforded generous treatment.
Lady Ningguang, the fleet reports that the sea monster has left Guyun Stone Forest and the surrounding waters have returned to normal.
Nice.
Thank you. How are the Millilith?
Thanks to the medical supplies you prepared and Lady Keqing's command, our losses were minimal.
Nice.
Of course, we owe huge thanks to this young lady for her help. On behalf of the entire Millilith, thank you for your service.
Protected us like the hero in the story.
Great.
Yep, now
And
you're
next
part of
time I
human
watch
society.
Miss Yoon's opera, I'll be able to take the compliments. I wasn't trying to be a hero, though. I just wanted to protect you.
Let the soldiers recuperate, but don't let your guard down. If she returns with a vengeance, we must be prepared.
Yes, ma'am.
You've been monitoring us for some time now. I trust you've reached a conclusion.
Oh, Cloudwatane was here the whole time.
You wish to hear one's opinion. Well, things would have hardly gone so smoothly had it not been for Shenhe.
But Shenhe is... he's kind of like a mix between Adepti and humans. Well, at least she's a human that's learned Adepti arts.
That I do not deny. However, final victory was always going to be ours, even had things been a little more arduous. If it came to
That's
it,
true.
I could always destroy another Jade Chamber.
One has observed your adaptation of the Guizhong ballista, and find oneself compelled to admit that you have evidenced some degree of novel thinking.
As she said before, we do have a Jade Chamber we can drop on Osial's wife if need be.
You have learned from past failures and prepared for this crisis in advance. This is considerable progress compared to the last time. Hence, on balance, one finds your performance during this trial satisfactory enough. But there will no doubt be further trials to come in the future. Do not suppose that one will not continue observing you hereafter.
While the position of Tianquan remains mine, I will always ensure Liyue's safety.
Shenhe, one saw you secretly venture out from the mountains a few years ago, and noticed the air of dejection in which you returned. Hopefully this trip to Liyue Harbor has been a different experience.
Yes. I can't explain it, but I feel happier than I expected.
That's good.
Good. Traveler, please take good care of Shenhe. She is a dear child. In fact, one has many fond memories of Shenhe's childhood that she may be interested to hear about.
This is like Ganyu's story quest.
There'll be no need for that.
Oh. They are all like this.
Yep.
Fine. Since you care not to listen, one shan't be telling you. One shall be going homeward now.
Please, have a good rest. Come to the Jade Chamber when you have recovered your energy.
Alright. I like how Cloud Retainer is pretty much like a mom to Ganyu and Jenna.
We must celebrate both the completion of the Jade Chamber and the fact that Liyue has weathered another crisis. This banquet must be the most spectacular ever.
Nice. Head to the Jade Chamber to take part in the victory feast. Will do. But we can teleport to it now, too. Alright, here we are. Gotta see Eugen's play as well.
Wow! Everyone's already seated! It's Paimon's first time attending a banquet in the Jade Chamber. The food here looks amazing.
All of you here are my distinguished guests. I am determined that each of you thoroughly enjoys yourself. Those who don't drink alcohol, please, help yourself to other beverages.
Will do.
Fine wine is a delight to the senses, but it is far from the only one. I trust you will find the marvelous view from the Jade Chamber to be an equally gratifying indulgence.
Have you heard? Miss Yun's going to be performing today.
Sure have. Honestly, it's the main reason I'm here. I've never missed any of Miss Yun's performances, and I don't intend to start now. I hear she's going to perform The Divine Damsel of Devastation today, the one written by her father. I've been so excited that I've barely slept the last few nights.
Hey, look! Miss Yun is going on stage!
Ooh. I hope she gets a cutscene of her own. Oh, Shenna's interested. Okay, she's dancing. She does get her own cutscene. It looks nice. And I love the art style. I try not to talk too much, but it's nice. hear it's...
神女披冠到这里本该接近尾声，但今日我再添一笔，唱与诸位
Ah, there's us.
"彼时鹤归，茫茫天地无依靠，孤身离去。今日再会，新朋旧友坐满堂，共聚此时。"
What did you think? Personally, I thought I sang rather well.
You did. You really did. They put so much effort into this new update, especially with the cutscenes. Like, you already know that I'm bad with words, but I loved every aspect of that just now.
It was beautiful. Paimon wants to learn too.
It was wonderful. Also, thank you.
You're welcome. Thanks to you, the Divine Damsel of Devastation is a more nuanced tale than ever. The play has an ending, but life goes on. I believe you will find a way to fit in Liyue Harbor.
I think so too.
Thank you. I think I've found the opportunity I needed to change.
Ms. Yun.
Oh.
Here you are. Great to see you.
Hello?
Huh? Hey, this young lady with the white hair looks like some kind of VIP. Yeah, that's it, like an Adeptus.
Sir?
Wait. You're the girl from the opera, aren't you? The Divine Damsel herself.
Guess.
And look who else we have here, the illustrious traveler. Well, I'll be. This was definitely worth showing up for.
Hello, sir.
Let me pull up a chair, all right. We'll all have a friendly chat, get better acquainted.
Sorry about that. Family members came in. This was nice.
Alternatively, you could leave us alone. That is, if you'd prefer to finish your drink via the orifice of your own choice.
Uh-oh. This feels all too familiar. Shenhe's back to her old self again.
Is she, though?
Hey, what are you doing?
Calm down, Shenhe. Calm down.
Oh, okay. It's all good now. This was nice, though. So, talk to everyone here.
Now that I think about it, I'm glad Master sent me here to deliver the sigils. Otherwise, I wouldn't have had the chance to meet you. I'm sure I have much to learn from you in the future.
And what about you, Yunjin?
To act, one must first feel. After our trip to Mount Tianheng together, I felt much more in touch with the character today. I believe I was able to deliver a more profound performance because of it. Next time I have a new opera, may we study the character together again?
No, sure. Alright, and Guang? Hold on. There we go.
You've made an exceptional contribution toward the building of the new Jade Chamber. I will not forget this. I shall be sure to repay your kindness at an appropriate juncture.
Well, thank you. Alright, so that is all done, and there's nothing left to do for us Archon Quest now. And we done with Hangout. But we do have Ningguang and also Yunjin's. So excuse me while I get these two here. Alright. I think I'll do Youngjin's hangout event now, and then probably I'll do Ningguang's next time. I got the Liyue's Adventure Guild. I mean, she's right here, but I guess we'll do that. But honestly, this latest Archon Quest, love the amount of effort they actually put into this update. I can't wait till we get to Sumeru too.
Can't you send someone any sooner? The clock is ticking, and I need this resolved
What
ASAP.
they got prepared for that.
I'm sorry, but we don't have any adventurers available at this instant.
So what's going on, Catherine?
Your timing is most optimal. Allow me to introduce Yu Ning, manager of the Yunhan Opera Troupe. She has commissioned the guild to...
Traveler? Ugh, Yunjin is always talking about you. Please, you've got to help us find her.
Yunjin's missing?
Yep, she's gone and disappeared. Now of all times, just days away from the big performance. All she left was a short note.
My 2 hours, if I'll find this letter, after some discussion about the Divine Maiden play with my friends, right, there's still much to learn indeed. I'm going to link you past in hopes of gaining some inspiration. Turn within the day.
If our audience doesn't get to see Yunjin on stage, they'll start tearing the place down. I mean, what am I supposed to do, huh?
She literally said she was going to come back.
That's what I said too, but...
Look, when you're a megastar like Yunjin, you gotta start taking things a little more seriously. Saying she'll be back doesn't give me a whole lot of reassurance when she's showing no regard for her own safety. Why does she have to go and practice somewhere so dangerous? What if something happens to her? What am I going to tell the audience?
Worst case scenario, she still has a vision.
Well then, what if she gets into a scrape and hurts herself? If she gets so much as a scratch, it'll be a loss to the whole nation.
As you can see, this is what we're up against.
Well, we'll try to find her then.
Would you be willing to accept this commission?
Hey, for Yunjin.
Oh, wonderful. Ugh, thank the stars. Please, you've got to bring her back, safe and sound.
I will. Head to link you past, look for Yunjin. Alright, so I'll just teleport here and glide the rest of the way. I've got already a pretty good idea what her character's like from the first like Archon event, but I'm interested to see how much this hangout and like adds up on that. And what I'm seeing here, you can beat up a bunch of hilly trolls just fine, and she's fighting a ruin hunter. So let's help her out with that. Monster attack. Yes, I'm taking this fight then. But there it is. I stir. Oh. I still haven't healed up since the last fight. Need to do that. Oh. Oh no. Get the fire arrows out. Finish this quick. Alright, so Yunjin, you okay? You alright? Are you hurt?
It's you.
Yep, I've been here for
I do
quite a while.
apologize. I didn't see you there. What brings you all the way up here? Oddly enough, I was just thinking of scheduling a meeting with you later. I didn't expect to run into you here, of all places.
Your manager sent. I gotta say this one.
Ah, I see. So Yunning sent you.
Oh, it's the same
thing. I did tell her not to worry. Oh, but on this occasion, it seems I'm rather lucky you came. You've helped me avert a major catastrophe. It's a pity, though. I was so close to achieving the state of mind that Shenhe was talking about.
What state of mind?
Do you remember what Shenhe said about the divine damsel fighting against the evil monster? That in reality, she hadn't acted as courageously as the operatic rendition would have you believe. That it was simply a matter of life and death, and she chose self-preservation. Granted, she later admitted that she preferred the version of events given in the opera, with its portrayal of a divine heroine sacrificing herself for others. But after giving it a lot of consideration, I think that this character is defined by her emotional complexity, and even uncertainty. So the more emotions I can experience for myself, the wider range I will have to draw on in my performance. If access to a different state of mind can help me provide a fresh interpretation of the character and her actions, well, surely it will take my acting skills to the next level.
Makes sense.
That's why I came here. My plan was to take it slowly, start by just dipping my toe in, as it were. But once I started, I just got completely drawn in. I feel like I was so close to a breakthrough here.
Want to try again? I can join in.
You've defeated an ancient god before. How am I supposed to experience genuine danger if you're here with me?
I mean, I feel like Aether's gotten himself into more danger than you can imagine. Even as strong as he is.
I suppose I had better return to Liyue Harbor for now. I'll only end up putting you in an awkward position otherwise. Goodness knows how you'd explain this to Yunning.
That's fair.
I wonder whether I have gained anything useful from this trip. I suppose only time will tell.
Alrighty. Alright. Return to the Liyue's adventure guild. Teleport. Oh, wait, hold on. Enemy's not that far away from the teleport waypoint. It won't take too much time to just go over here to the statue of the 7 and heal everyone up. There we go. That's what I'm talking about. Alright, now we can get moving. So,
can you put a few more adventurers on the case or something? The clock's still ticking away.
Please have faith in him. Ah, they've returned.
Yunning, we're back.
Yunjin, are you okay? Are you hurt? Do you need to go to Boo Boo Pharmacy?
No, I'm fine. You don't need to worry. When it's time to go on stage, I'll be there.
Look, I get it. You like to go out exploring. That's fine. But do you really have to go off thrill-seeking this close to the show?
I mean, it's not quite thrill-seeking as much as it is, like, helping her get more into the character, but I guess
you have to take better care of yourself, okay?
What she means by
for
this?
all our sakes, for the opera troupe and for your audience. We're just lucky we had the Traveler to help out. What if something had happened to you, huh? What would I say to our audience?
Well, I would say the best way to make it up to our audience is to give them the best performance we can. Don't you agree?
I guess.
While I'm off stage, as long as there is something, anything I can do to improve my acting ability, even the slightest amount, I can't pass up the opportunity.
You know, I don't know what to say anymore. Traveler, please, you tell her.
I don't know what to say, though.
What's your honest opinion?
You make a good point, Yunjin.
I'm glad you agree. Right, then let's get preparing.
And plus she has a vision, so, like, most enemies are not going to be too much of an issue.
Traveler, get over here! You've only just managed to bring Yunjin back. Now you're taking her straight back out again? What's the big idea?
I mean, I fought gods. I feel like
the next show is just days away.
Fine, I'd say.
Please, if not for me, then for the sake of the opera troupe, I'm begging you, help me convince her that at the end of the day, she's gotta fall in line.
And it's not gonna be an easy task.
Well, okay, maybe that's asking the impossible, but at least try and keep her distracted. Please, just keep her occupied until the next show. No more thrill-seeking.
What are you two talking about? If it doesn't involve me, I think I'm going to...
You know what? It does involve you, actually. The Traveler was saying, come on, help me stall her.
Oh?
Alright.
Well, what do you need from me?
I want to become an actor.
You want to become an actor?
Yes.
You do?
Mm-hmm.
Yes, of course he does. He was just telling me that he's interested in exploring his dramatic side and would like you to give him some coaching.
Yes,
right.
that's
Good.
exactly what is
Well, let's
happening
not
here.
beat around the bush. Traveler, your master awaits.
Hold on. I don't know if I'm really ready to take on students yet.
Please, this is the day you've dreamed of, isn't it? You certainly talk about it enough. And look, now he's here, ready and willing.
Okay, I get it. You can stop now. Whew. I am delighted that you wish to study the performing arts from me. But the issue is, before you could become my apprentice, I'd have to get approval from the founders, then do an initiation ceremony. There just isn't time for all that right now. So, for now, I'll just teach you a few basics. Informally, one friend to another, there's no need to call me master.
I'm a teacher.
What? Don't you think that's a bit old-fashioned? Let's work on that later.
Alright
Until
then.
we settle on an
Yunjin.
appropriate title, just call me by my name. Let's
Alright.
meet tomorrow morning on the bridge by the sea at Feiyun Slope. I'll do my best to prepare a good first lesson for you.
Whew, what a relief.
Alrighty.
Error.
Huh? Captain said error? You're an NPC? Alright. Wait until... We gotta wait completely. I thought we would have to go to the place first, but I guess not. Alright. Gotta go forward in time. Where we got? The agreed upon place for your lesson. Alright, it's right over there. Alright. So.
Good. You're right on time. Punctuality is an essential quality if you want to make it big in the acting world. Without it,
there we go.
you won't be able to keep on top of all the work you need to do each day.
So where do we start?
Well, first I'd like you to answer me one question. How many pigeons flew from the bridge when you were passing through?
I guess I'll be honest and I didn't notice.
Oh, perhaps someone scared them off before you arrived?
I have no idea.
Alright, never mind. We'll come back to that another time.
Sorry.
Anyway, the point of this question was to test your powers of observation.
I'm not good at that.
Eyes are the medium for the transfer of emotion. You must train your eyes to be bright, active, and strong. Watching the birds fly, hover around, and come into land will not only exercise your eyesight, but also cultivate attentiveness. Indeed, my own daily training routine starts right here. I watch the pigeons to train my eyes, and I sing to the tide to train my voice.
It's nice when they train my voice.
All in good time. Grasping all the techniques involved in opera singing and posture is not an overnight process. Let's start from the very beginning, with some general theories to help you better understand the concept of performance.
Alright, general concept of performance.
Of course. I am in written correspondence with performers from many nations in Teyvat. which has rather broadened my perspective on this topic. For example, let's start with something simple. How would you perform yourself?
I guess just act as
Try
me.
to relive the events of that day when you were battling against an ancient god and fighting off the Fatui. What can you see? What did you... Now, I want you to look out at the ocean in front of you and recall the raging waves and the atmosphere of peril from that day. Take a deep breath. Now, gradually, embrace the scene, immerse yourself in it, and let all the emotions back in.
Okay, the fear of being overwhelmed by an evil god. The camaraderie of fighting alongside trusted companions.
Good. So that's how you felt. Next, I'd like you to focus on the goal you wanted to achieve at that time.
Check Liyue and my
Good,
brains.
yes. Use that. Okay, good. Now, all of this overwhelming emotion is welling up inside of you, and I want you to let it all out. All at once. Go.
Alright. Stop. Oh.
Wrong. This is all wrong. There's no emotion, no soul. Granted, the character you are trying to portray is your own self, but your performance didn't do the scene justice at all. I couldn't hear you fighting for your life while gargantuan waves were crashing all around you. What I heard was the sound of someone doing vocal exercises by the beach on a calm day.
If I may, we are at the beach and it is a calm day.
Here's the thing. When you're acting, it's not only about getting into character, you also have to recreate the scene in your mind as vividly as you can. Now, I appreciate that you did actually experience this particular scene for yourself, but maybe conjuring up specific details of your surroundings at the time is a little too advanced for novices.
It was a pretty rare experience.
You're right. If we were looking for an environment to help evoke the emotions you felt at the time, I suppose we could try again. A little farther afield, at Guyun Stone Forest.
No need to go all the way out there. Oh, right, because we're supposed to keep her around here. Like, because, her troop coach.
Too far away? Don't worry, I was just thinking aloud. Besides, even at Guyun Stone Forest, we'd still have trouble recreating the state of the sea that day. Let's try something else. Come with me to the suburbs just north of Liyue Harbor.
Not that far from Liyue.
If you've got no objections, let's head off.
Okay, then. Alright, teleport. I'd say this is actually quite a bit far away from Liyue Harbor. Oh, I see boars. Hello. I now boars. I just don't like boars because for those of you who don't play this game, sometimes out of nowhere, if you're an area where boars will spawn, sometimes they'll just randomly come out of nowhere and charge you. As you probably saw back then. Once they run away from you, they're a good while
The
they just
battle you fought on the Jade Chamber was a very strange set of circumstances, even for someone like you. It's quite normal that you can't get into character just like that. I know it's hard to recreate every facet of the experience in your mind, but what you could try is to replace the foes you faced in that scenario with ones you are much more familiar with. I'll give you an example. Let's say you're performing a scene where your character experiences the grief and pain of a death, but you yourself have never experienced this kind of tragic loss before. Well, you can replace death with another, more familiar scenario that evokes a similar sense of grief and pain for you, such as...
losing your sister? Because that is something Aether went through.
You bust a gut trying to find a treasure chest, only to finally reach it and find it filled with cabbages and radishes.
Oh, the pain of it all.
Ah, now you're catching on. Action scenes work the same way. Perhaps the experience of facing an ancient god is a challenge to recreate.
I think a more accurate version of that would be like doing an extremely hard puzzle to get a common chest instead of like a luxurious one or even an exquisite chest. Those are the worst for me. But having a lot in Inazuma.
But
and
if
Inazuma
you're
puzzles are
replaying
really
the kind of
darn
actions
hard.
you perform every day, you just need to let go, and your subconscious will guide you through. Come, show me how you normally fight. You can start with monsters nearby.
Alrighty. Alright. There are... Oh, I see slime.
I'm quite impressed.
No one saw that.
No time to lose.
They're coming.
We just got
do what
you
you
healed
normally
up.
do in this situation.
Dude. Alright, up. He's not good at climbing down cliffs. Oh, no. Oh, these guys.
No time to lose.
Up. I saw your spinning attack coming.
No time to lose.
Okay. Oh, gotcha. Run and grab that shield.
Tidal wave.
Oh, come on. There we go.
Oh, that was wonderful. Such deft and fluid movements.
I don't even know how Child lost all his HP there. That's like a small drop.
Just like a real adventurer.
But I am a real
Let's
adventurer.
perform the scene again now, while the battle is still fresh in your mind.
Alright.
Look at those red-clad scarecrows. But I want you to see them instead as those Fatui who brandish the sacrificial knives.
Ah, so like... I forgot what they're called, but like...
Now, let us reenact
The
the
guys
battle
that
on
say
the
you
Jade Chamber.
can't run from death and...
It's
like
okay if you can't recall the events clearly.
Alright.
You can just replace them with the movements you are most familiar with. And... attack! The 3 Adepti are manning the Guizhong ballistas. Do not let the Fatui disturb their work.
Alright. Like the red scarecrows. Boom. 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 Brum, 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 brum. Alright, how's that? There they go.
I can't fault your movements in terms of technique, but Fatui are larger than most monsters. I don't think it was a conscious decision, but you were aiming a little too low, and you also didn't strike with enough force. Overall, it was just lacking that sense of being in the heat of the battle. Veteran practitioners of this acting method are able to adjust and embellish their real-life experience enough so that it makes an adequate substitute for the scene they are trying to portray. But adjusting deep-rooted habits to adapt them for the stage, that's no easy task.
Doesn't sound
Still,
easy.
This was only your first time trying this method, and all things considered, I think you've done quite well. But judging from your movements, I think this next method might suit you a little better.
Alright, what is it?
Choreograph every aspect of your onstage performance in advance. Every movement, every facial expression, even your emotions, and rehearse it thoroughly. You can reference existing characters from opera or imitate similar people from your own life. In short, you want to pin down every detail of the character you want to portray in your mind, and then work through them methodically and find ways to bring them out.
I don't fully understand.
Well, in your case, what you need to do is imitate your past self. Think of yourself not as you, but as somebody outside this world controlling your every move.
So like the player, like me. It's harder to understand.
It's complicated to explain, but once you give it a try, I think you'll get the hang of it. Okay, how about we start by setting a simple scenario.
Alright.
The Fatui in red want to attack the Guizhong ballista, and the heavyweight guards in blue want to try and stop you. What you want to do is evade all the blues and go straight for the reds.
Alright, evade blues, go for reds.
Yes, I think that sums it up. There's an open area to the north. I'll set up a stage for you. When you've finished rehearsing everything in your mind, come and find me.
Alright. The stage that Yun has set up for us.
Yep.
You know, this...
No time to lose.
It's a bit weird, but also nice. The story event so far. Hangout event. I guess there's not really a need to differentiate the two, but...
Well, have you finished rehearsing?
I'm ready, I think.
No need to rush. Take your time. I shall guide you with my voice.
Alright. Oh, break all the blues here. Please be careful not to accidentally hit any of the blue ones. Can I do this? Yes! Oh! Oh, I broke one. Well, damaged one. Oh. Careful. Alright, there we go, done. I don't think her lips were moving with the song, though.
No,
I guess we weren't
normally
better. Supposed to look at that.
You managed
so
to bring out more of that fearless hero quality that time. My hard work coaching you has finally paid off. This
Seems
method
so.
might not sound as sophisticated and exciting as the first two, but it's the most popular choice for teaching beginners. Rigorous rehearsal and vocal training is at the core of this school of thought. It even works on those whose performance lacks emotional depth at first. As long as you practice diligently, with time, you will achieve mastery one way or another. Either your finely honed skills become a good substitute for innate talent, or the process of honing your skills cultivates genuine talent within you. People say that when you truly master the art of singing, even the birds and beasts will be drawn to your song.
It's amazing.
I know. I guess I still have a long road ahead of me when it comes to developing as a performer.
One thing. Since this is the standard beginner's method, why didn't you start with this?
Well, because even if I had, you wouldn't have put your heart into it. It's been written on your face this whole time. Just try and keep her occupied until the next show.
Ah. So she knew. Was it that obvious?
Don't forget that acting is my bread and butter. Did you really think I wouldn't be able to see through it?
You know what? You make a good point.
Still, this is a rare opportunity, and I hope you have at least learned something from it about the beauty of the performing arts. The operatic tradition carries countless historical memories within it. As long as the art is kept alive, the voices and faces of bygone heroes can be recreated on the stage for generation after generation. I hope that your voice and your face will make their mark on Liyue opera too. Yes, as well as coaching you today, I have also been closely observing every move you make. Do you remember the basics of the final method?
Let's see. Referencing existing
Don't you think
characters?
there's a striking similarity between you, who stood up for Liyue and fought off a god of old, and the divine damsel in the play?
I think so,
With
yeah.
you as a reference in mind, I'm sure I can finally make a breakthrough in creating my own adaptation of this character. Because as far as I'm concerned, the immersion method, drawing on life experiences, and imitating others are all valuable acting methods. Even if my every movement is rehearsed to perfection, I can't move the audience without conveying emotion. And even if I fully master the character's emotions, A little choreography will help make the performance more polished and appealing. Whatever the method is, as long as it offers something that can improve my performance, I will always give it a try. Thank you for trying them out as well. It means a lot to me.
Don't mention it.
And congratulations on making it to the end of your first acting class.
So when is my graduation ceremony? Alright, when's the weird hat thingy? Where's my robe? Where's my degree?
Graduation ceremony? I'm afraid that's still a long way in the future.
No.
For now, I hope to incorporate part of you into my performance of the Divine Damsel. But one day, I hope to write an opera all about you. When that day comes, I hope you will be able to join me on stage and give me some constructive criticism. It'll take a lot of hard work to reach the point where you're ready to go on stage. But I'll be here to keep you on track every step of the way.
You're quite the strict teacher.
Here we go again. So old-fashioned. Then again, I suppose I will have to give you a lot of instruction along the way. And if I won't let you call me master, teacher, or coach, I've got to think of something you can call me. I've got it. You can call me...
Invincible.
Mentor. What do you think?
Alright, that works. Ah, this is nice. The cast contemplates the play's meaning. Harder, something you might perform on the same stage. Alright, I like it. Alright, 5 endings to go through. Alright. Alright, this is only... It only branches out to 1. So when you do something different here. A bunch of different things here, it seems. Get all the endings. There's nothing off... Doesn't seem like there's anything branching off from the same spot as that last one we did. Turn to the Adventurers Guild.
Can you put a...
Please and we can skip all of these because we've already been through all of them.
No.
Look, you have to take better. We're just lucky.
Yada yada. Yeah, we know.
While I'm off stage,
you know, you...
So? What?
I guess we go with this one then.
Exactly. Just think of all the people coming from far and wide just to show you their support.
Why do you make it sound like they are coming to see me and not the show?
Well, same difference, isn't it?
I mean, there's other people in the... Well, actually, as far as we've seen, she's the only one in the opera, but... People like the guys making the music. They're part of it, too.
I don't think so. They seem quite different to me. Well, either way, you're quite right. I mustn't let down our audience, especially those who came from afar. And I certainly mustn't make you come out looking for me again.
It's fine.
So I suppose I will put my training exercises on hold for...
I'm glad to know that the brightest star in my troupe is finally gonna start listening to reason. I'm gonna head back and see how the set is coming along. Don't go disappearing on me again.
All right. I'll head back and do some rehearsing. It's no substitute for first-hand experience, but it should still help me iron out a few issues.
Right. And I hear somebody outside the door, so... Alright, give me a sec. Buddy, hello, where's your good boy? Where's your good boy, Lucas? Your good boy? Your good boy, Lucas? Your good boy? Yeah. Yeah, you're a good boy. There you go. Go. Alright. Alright. He's happy now. Alright, so, back to the hangout event. Alright. There you go, buddy. You happy now? Okay. Good boy. Alright. Much safer than first hand.
Speaking of which, I haven't even thanked you properly for saving me. If you are free after the show, come and find me at Hiya Tea House.
Come find me at Tea House. Alright, I shall go find you at the tea house. Sorry, I noticed that typo there. Alright, after the current fall. Okay, so that's me. Much natural focus. Yeah. You do.
An adventurer.
Okay, we need to hold on. I'm at the right time, aren't I? Or do I have to wait another day? Hold on, let's try this. I gotta go through time again. Alright, now do we meet up?
Fireworks are for now,
I
but
got the
friends are forever.
Liyue tea house to look for Genshin.
Come and see these rare and precious curios.
Alright. Might, but okay, I could go through here. There we go. Let's climb up. Alright, so it's all the way upstairs. Personally, Komori tea house is my favorite of all the tea houses in Imitate because Kamimaru. I'll come here too.
Liyue opera is really something, but Liyue opera performed by Miss Yun, now that's something else. Thrilling performance. I've never seen anything like it before in my life. Your reputation is well deserved.
Well, I've had the pleasure of seeing the talented Miss Yun on stage many a time in the past, but the songs still sound fresh and new every single time. It's been barely a few days since I last saw you perform. But once again, Yun-jin, you've progressed by leaps and bounds.
Oh, you're far too kind, both of you. I'm still new to the profession, but I promised myself when I joined the troupe that I would strive to develop myself as a performer every day. And I wouldn't be where I am now without everyone's faithful support.
Nonsense, you're too humble, Miss Yun. You're a major celebrity. Who in Liyue hasn't heard the name Yun-jin?
In the circles I move in, anyone who says they've never seen Yun-jin on stage is at risk of getting laughed out of business. As it happens, I have a business meeting at the Liyue kiosk with a client who is also a big fan of yours.
I see.
So, I was wondering if you'd perhaps like to join us for the meal.
Oh, me too. I booked a table at the Liyue Pavilion and was hoping you might join me.
Oh, I'm terribly sorry to both of you, but I won't be able to make it. I'm very grateful for the invitations, but I'm afraid I already have arrangements for this evening. Isn't that right, Traveler?
Yep, I'm here.
Okay, you have plans, but you're really gonna pass this up? I mean, you could always reschedule.
I mean,
Wait a
maybe,
second,
but...
you're...
Yep, it is I, the famous traveler.
I guess it's not going to work out today, then. Maybe another day, Miss Yun.
Sorry, sir.
They took off pretty quick. Do they know something I don't?
So does he not know who I am?
I guess I'll be leaving too. Wouldn't want to cramp your style.
Take care, both of you. Sorry that I can't see you off. Whew. Thanks for coming to my rescue. Again, look at you.
You're welcome.
You're a national treasure. Even Gentry Moutsai is in awe of you. I feel a little sorry for Liyue Kiosk and Liyue Pavilion. I just hope the food won't go to waste.
Alright, so I feel like this is where two different endings are gonna go. So, I guess I'll go with Liyue
I don't
Evelyn?
think we'd be able to get a seat this late. But it's fine. I have a better place we can go.
Alright. Lucas is a bit hungry, so. We have this. There you go.
Let's head downstairs. I owe you a big thank you tonight.
I headed to the final floor of a tea house. There we go. So I think we need to talk to those two.
Miss Yoon? Oh, wow, it's really you! I have just a few questions, if you don't mind.
That is, alright.
Hey, get back here. Oh, ditzy girl, you don't have a clue what you're doing.
Are you a journalist? If you'd like to arrange an interview, you'll have to liaise with my manager.
Sorry, Miss Yun. Don't mind her. She's just new and still learning the ropes. We'll leave you
Miss Yoon, I'm interested to know why you added a silk dance to the scene where the divine damsel makes her appearance.
Oh?
You noticed that?
Yes. Based on the original script, that scene would see your character perform the Adeptus Walk. But the addition of the silk dance meant that the whole way you carried yourself was so much more...
I have issues with words too, same.
Animated.
Yes, but delicate and graceful like a crane.
Oh, sorry. Which publication are you from? How come I haven't met you before?
Oh, well...
yeah, we're from the Steambird. I am Bo Yi, the editor-in-chief. And this young lady is Shuryun, one of my journalists. We were based in Fontaine. Just recently we made the move back to Liyue.
Oh, I see. You're from the Steambird. Then it's no wonder. Your journalist has clearly done her research.
That's very kind of you, but really, my level of knowledge is very basic compared to yours.
Hey, Miss Yoon is throwing you a bone here. Make the most of it, okay? Talk to her!
Actually, I'm afraid there's somewhere I need to be. And I'd really need to clear this interview with my manager.
Make the most of it, you may as well talk to them. Let's play it safe and... I'll go with this one for now, because that's what she wants.
Yes, you're right.
But we can do the other one later.
I'm very sorry, but I'm afraid the troupe is pretty strict about the rules for this kind of thing. So we'll have to do this one by the book. Please liaise with my manager, and we can do this interview another day. The Steambird is a highly reputable publication, so I'm sure my manager won't give you a hard time. Once the interview is arranged, I'll be very happy to answer any and all questions you have.
But... fair enough. Sorry if we're being intrusive. Please forgive us. We'll leave you in peace. Hey, come on, quit dawdling.
Yes, I'm coming. Bye, Miss Yun.
Hey, wait. That's the wrong way if you wanted to talk to my manager.
And they're gone.
Oh, well, never mind. I have a friend who works for a paper. I'll ask them later. For now, though, the top priority is making good on our plans. Now that I think about it, I've turned down 3 social engagements tonight. Come with me. Our plan is the only one remaining, so let's make the most of it.
Alrighty. Okay, so we... Never mind. Wait, get to Chinhyuga. Okay, so we're getting a bit late. I might just go through these last few, well, this last ending and then save the rest for later then.
I can smell the fragrance of food in the air. Yes, Churhu Rock is definitely the place to go after a performance.
We're going to Ramen Restaurant.
Oh? You're a fan of Chef Mao's cooking too?
Yes,
Wonmin Restaurant's
and
blackback perch stew is hot, spicy, and fresh. But it's not kind on the throat, so unfortunately I can't eat much of it. Also, it's a bit cramped in there. I prefer open-air restaurants. Hey, have you been to Chen the Sharp's place before? His grilled tigerfish is the best around. Third Round Knockout and Wonmin Restaurant are both great restaurants. But when it comes to barbecue, this is the place to go.
All right.
Enjoying some nice food and drink, sitting by the hot coals in the cool breeze? Let's go.
Alrighty. So where is it? Go to the snack stand. Oh, right over here. Hello.
Tigerfish! Grilled tigerfish, hot off the grill! Oh, hey there. Is this a Miss Yoon which I see before me? It's been a while. What'll it be? The usual?
Yes, please. I'm out with my friend today. Let's start with a plate of stir-fried meat and a handful of skewers, and of course some grilled tigerfish. 2, please. One with just a hint of chili, and the other one,
Same as yours.
Got it. Your grilled tigerfish will be ready soon. Do you want any drinks with that? Yeah, I don't advertise it though, because it's just something I'm experimenting around with for fun. Miss Yoon likes a drink with her barbecue, so I ended up getting her to try them out for me. So would you two like some tea, or?
Anything new?
Well, I managed to scrounge some milk from Dongsheng next door. A merchant from Mondstadt told me a while back that there's this popular drink doing the rounds there called milk tea. I tried my hand at making it too, but the response has been kind of lukewarm. Still way off being ready to add to my menu.
Tea with milk? Sorry, milk tea? It might not be the best thing for my throat, but if I'm just having a little taste, I mean, I think it should be fine.
I mean, it's a thing from Mondstadt, so I'm not sure.
But what about you? Anything you want to drink?
I just go with
Okay, let's get yours in first. And then, I'll have one of each if that's all right. I'd like to try them all.
Okie dokie.
All right.
And here's your tigerfish, fresh off the grill.
Come on, let's enjoy it while it's still hot. Piping hot barbecue and a nice cool drink is the best sensation. That was great. Shame about these drinks, though. I only had a little sip of each one, so there's a lot left over.
What do you want to do?
Well, I mean, I could just drink them, but they're a little bland for me. Nothing that special. I guess he must have toned down the flavors to make them palatable for a wider range of customers. We could just add some flavor back in? In fact, do you know the Hot Pot game?
Thomas taught
Let's
us
play the
about
Hot
it.
Pot game with the leftover drinks. I'll add some extra ingredients based on my tastes, then you try to guess what I added. Sound good?
Alrighty.
Don't worry. After mixing in the new ingredients, I'll also drink half, so I won't add any weird stuff.
I'm sure this is how the Hot Pot game is played. Thomas, a master at this.
We don't need to worry about every last detail. Come on, I'll go grab some ingredients from the shop next door. Once you've psyched yourself up, come and join me.
Alrighty. There you go. Let's talk to her.
Okay, get ready. Oh, and no peeking.
I am sneaky Dino. I shall take one peek.
It's ready. Let me try it first.
Alright. Alright.
Pretty good. Your turn.
I didn't get a good look. Do I savor it or knock it? Savor. Have another taste. Alright, something solid. Flavor, alright.
Huh? Oh, just regular facial expression control.
I see.
Besides, it's nothing that unusual. I think it tastes okay, doesn't it?
More of a soup than a drink.
So did you work out what ingredients I added?
Okay. I think I remember seeing tofu. And then salt. Well, they all have salt. I could go with crab
You guessed them all correctly. You seem to have a well-developed palate.
Let's go.
We can try some more combinations next time. I wonder what kind of new flavors I could create with some more traditional teas, like pine nectar or snow blossom. I can't wait to try it out. I'm getting excited just thinking about it.
I never thought this would be... I mean, we talked with her outside of performing. like during most of the time she was like we were doing the thing for Ningguang's contest. I guess we'll take this then.
Well, people do often say that getting deep into a character is about identifying the part of you that is similar to them and bringing that into the performance. So in that sense, I can't say it's incorrect to conflate an actor and the characters they play on some level. But there are many more sides of me than the few you see on stage. So ultimately, yes, I am not the same person on stage as I am off stage. Sometimes, when I get letters from people, I can tell from the way they write that they see me as someone cold and aloof. I can write back, but I have to be very careful about what I say. Likewise, when I get invited along to banquets and so on, I have to make sure to keep myself calm and composed the whole night.
That is actually my first impression of her when I first saw her design. I thought she was going to be more like that. I'll go with this one.
I bought you one drink, okay? That's not a license for you to start saying weird stuff like that. Well, never mind. You seemed like you were being sincere. I'll let it go. All I was trying to say is that everyone has many different sides to their personality. And if you get fixated on just one of those, there's so much you'll never discover about a person. I mean, if we hadn't had the chance to hang out and chat like this tonight, there are things about you I might never have gotten to see, like the mighty and distinguished traveler, diligently reviewing my hot pot drinks.
I would have assumed you were serious, I guess.
Me? Serious? On stage, I guess. But off stage, just think of me as another one of your friends. Just one who happens to have a flair for the dramatic. So, friend, what shall we do next? Something to remember today by?
Get a photo.
Get a photo? You mean capture this happy moment for posterity so we can look back on it later?
Exactly.
Sounds good. Let's have the food stall in the background. Now how should I pose?
Alright, take a photo of Yujin. And we need restaurant as the background. Yeah. Alright, hold on. I think I'll go with hello, thank you for following. Welcome to the stream. Hope you're having a good day today. Alright, so let's with this one.
It looks good. I hope whenever you look at this photo in the future, it will remind you of the good time we had today.
Alright, so goodbye for now.
Hold on. How is one photo going to be enough? We'll both need one if we want something to remember each other by. You
good
take
point.
this one, and I'll take another photo of you. But could you find another location for us? I'm thinking somewhere around Feiyun Slope with a good view. I'll join you in a moment. I have something to prepare here first.
You got it. Alrighty, so let's go to Feiyun. Actually, we can just walk there. Wrong way, hold on. Paul, yes. Alright. There you go, over here. Now you wait for a while.
Sorry to keep you waiting so long.
I wasn't waiting long at all.
The view here is great. The lights, the buildings, it's the ideal spot. I can see you chose it carefully. Yes, this angle is perfect. Okay, strike a pose and close your eyes.
Okay, close my eyes for a photo.
Yes, please. Quickly now.
Alrighty. There are a series of creaking sounds, like a wooden stand being unfolded. Interesting. Or you can hear light footsteps followed by Eugen's voice right by your ear.
Get ready. 3, 2, 1. Open your eyes.
Alright. Ah! Oh, that's cute. Alright, so that's ending number 2. And let's see, how much time I have, and... Actually, I did say I was going to stop after this one ending, but... I think I can go on a bit longer, and... Looks like Lucas is getting a bit upset, so I'll open the door for him.
Miss Yoon? Oh, wow, it's really you! I have just a few questions, if you don't mind.
Here we go, buddy. Oh, hello, Weasel Chart. You're back, kinda. Well, it's good. It's good to see you again. Hope you're doing good today.
Hey, get back here.
Oh,
Are you...
Sorry, Miss Yoon.
Miss Yoon.
We already went through all this
Yes,
dialogue.
animated.
Yes, yep.
I don't want to spend too much time with
we were based in...
Oh, I see. Then it's no wonder.
Hey, Miss...
Actually...
Alright, so we do this then.
But what about our plans?
Interested to hear your story.
Really? Okay, sure.
Oh, thank you. Thank you so much, Miss Yoon.
Great. Thank you both kindly. Let's find a quiet place and get this interview underway.
Oh, I see. So that's why you added the silk
There you
dance
go,
in
buddy.
this scene.
Yes, exactly. Doing it this way not only allows for more physicality in my movement, it also means I can make better use of the stage and transition into the scene more quickly.
Ah, okay. So there was even more to it than I thought. So wouldn't it make sense to contrast this with the Dongtong Appassionato section that comes directly afterward by making the latter a little more sophisticated?
I know what that means.
I think I know which section you're talking about.
Ah, sorry. What am I saying? This is a fixed formula, isn't it? My suggestion would completely break the format.
No, it's okay. It's an interesting idea for sure. I'll give it some thought. Thanks for the suggestion.
Alright.
Really? Wow, I'm so honored.
This conversation is way beyond me.
Sure.
Yeah, agreed.
Maybe it's time to move on to some of the things our readers would like to know about.
Oh, okay. I was also going to ask for your opinion on the set and the costumes.
Yes, well, I'm sure Miss Yun has countless pearls of wisdom she could share on her chosen craft. But, not all of our readers are quite so, artistically literate, shall we say.
That's fair.
A lot of them really just want to know more about you. You know, what does Yoonjin do when she is off stage?
Excuse me? When I'm off stage?
You know, you're a major celebrity, and a lot of our readers are interested to know what life is like for you. What kind of place you live in, what kind of things you eat, clothes you wear, things you buy, that whole side of things. A day in the life.
Besides rehearsing, a day in my life isn't really any more interesting than anyone else's.
Nonsense, of course it is. Just think how many people were at your show earlier. They come from all over just to show their support.
That's true.
In fact, a relative of mine has a daughter who's been saying she wants to broaden her horizons recently.
Ooh.
She's been looking for a chance to give you a jade hairpin as a gift.
Oh. It's against the rules of the opera troupe to accept private gifts from patrons. Could someone out there be accepting gifts for the troupe under false pretenses? I must get Yunning to look into it.
I mean, it wasn't a big deal. Just something she said. Forget I brought it up. So, I saw Gentry Maotsai and the Snezhnayan gentleman come down from upstairs. Are they patrons of your shows, too?
Yeah, I believe so.
So, what are your thoughts on Snezhnaya and the Fatui?
Oh. That's a bit much.
I'm sorry. This is my first interview, and my notes are becoming a total mess. I might need a moment to pause and reorganize them a little. Otherwise, I'll never be able to work all this into an article. Mr. Boy, maybe you should take a look too.
Don't be ridiculous. Stopping an interview halfway through to organize your notes? What are you talking about? Hey, all right. Miss Yun, we'll just be a moment.
All right, sir.
Oh.
Sure you want to continue with
fine.
this?
It's not the first time I've been asked questions like these. The last time it happened, Yunning stopped the interview for me. But the next day, the tabloids were full of articles like "Dramatic Exit, Yunjin storms out of interview," and "Miss La-di-da opera star is too good for our questions." Yeah. So from then on, Yunning said all interview requests have to go through her. I used to think I could hold the troupe together just by putting on a good performance. But now, I have to make sure I concentrate on my actions off stage too.
I don't find your performance very moving.
Oh, you mean Fanarya and that crowd? I cherish them as members of my audience too. But there aren't many people like them who can appreciate all the nuance in a single viewing. How did Shuryun end up working with an editor like that guy? Something feels wrong there. Ugh. They could be back at any moment, so I should stay here for now. But could you go look into it for me?
No problem.
If you find out anything, come straight back here and let me know.
Alrighty. Okay, so talk to the journalist. Alright. Hello there?
How can you be so cruel to Miss Yun?
Shh, keep your voice down. Whatever you got to say, it can wait until we're out of earshot. We'll both be in hot water if Yunjin finds out.
What's going on?
What's wrong with you? Why can't you get it into your head? Quit asking dull questions and start thinking about how to win over our readers. Do I make myself clear?
Alright.
Huh? Who are you? Ah, the one with... So, you've been lying in amp...
Oh. Whoops. I messed that one up. Alright. Alright, well, we gotta do that one again, I guess. Or to Yunjin.
Did you find anything out?
No. It got away.
I see. Well, it's not unexpected.
Well, I guess I could try again.
It's just a bit of a shame that I didn't get to talk with Shuryun for longer. She genuinely understands opera and has a passion for it. That's not something you can act. If I had the chance to talk with her more in depth, it could well provide me with some fresh inspiration.
I didn't know what you had in mind.
Eugene. Did you agree to another interview without notifying me?
I don't think they're coming back though.
These tabloid types are total scumbags, all of them. Who knows what innocent detail he might end up turning into the next big scandal. Sure, nothing might have come of it today, but who knows where it'll go tomorrow. Short of catching them all in their lair in one fell swoop, who knows when this is going to end?
Alright, well, we can always do the other.
I'm sorry.
Try again.
I was careless on this occasion.
Well, wallowing isn't gonna solve anything. Come on, go tell everyone in the troupe to be extra cautious during this time. Gee, oh Lord, bless us. Spare us any more offstage drama.
Oh, no. It looks like Yunjin will be busy for a while. Yeah, alright. Okay. We're trying this again. Next time, super stealthy. I'm gonna be the stealthiest, I can possibly be, guys. We can do this.
Must have left the tea house.
Okay. I need to close this door again.
The fate of the Guhua Brotherhood was sealed.
There we go. So now I need to be the stealthiest I know I can be.
I just...
Okay.
What's wrong with you? Why can't you get it into your head? Quit asking dull questions and start thinking about how to win over our readers.
How did you see me
I make myself clear?
Okay. Okay, let's keep going then. Please don't look back.
I don't think you realize what a golden opportunity you have here. How many journalists would give anything they had to trade places with you right now? Huh? Ever think about that?
You just don't get it. Miss Yun has put her heart and soul into...
Enough! Stop yelling in public! Or do you want Miss Yun to hear about all the lies you're spreading about her?
Hold on, what?
Me? You're the one making everything up!
Huh. Well, you sure seemed pretty happy chatting to her. Okay. So don't act like you ain't a part of this. And don't forget the contract you signed. Come. We'll continue our little chat over there. You need to listen and learn, young lady.
Alright. Be careful here. Okay, they're going around there. Okay.
Are you ready to stop whining now?
Okay, we got him.
Do you have any idea how rare an opportunity like this is for a small-time paper like ours? Just think of the sales if we can get an exclusive. We'd have enough to cover your salary for 2 lifetimes.
But what about us pretending to be from the Steambird? Aren't you worried she'll find out?
They're not actually from...
You really think she still would have talked to you if I hadn't told that little white lie? Besides, what have you got to be afraid of? As long as we make it sound like an eyewitness account, how will she be able to refute it? Heck, if she actually presses the issue, I'll probably have to thank her for keeping it current for me.
This is horrible. I will not let you treat Miss Yun like this.
I don't know who she thinks she is anyway.
Oh, I sang a couple of shows, so now I'm a national superstar.
Give me a break.
Okay, if you've seen the actual shows she's done, you know that they're amazing, sir.
No one wants to read about your sopranos or your falsettos. We give the readers what they want. That's how this business works. Case in point, that blonde guy seemed to be getting along pretty well with Yunjin. There's definitely a story there, even if there isn't.
Ugh, that's enough! I'm reporting you to the Millilith!
As you should.
Report me? What for? Libel? Identity theft? Good luck with that. I haven't written anything. Where's your proof?
An eyewitness? Like me?
You'd better tread carefully, Missy. First you neglect your own duties, and now you're trying to get in the way of mine? You signed the contract. You know full well the consequences. If you sabotage this interview, I will make sure you lose everything you have. I will ruin you. You understand?
I mean, I'm here. I can stop that.
Why? Oh, why did I sign that contract?
Two ways to go about it. I gotta try this one.
Who's there?
Why not? I gotta try it.
Oh, it's you. What do you want? I'm warning you, don't do anything stupid or I'll spread a lovely little story about you and Yunjin throughout all of Liyue.
Wait a second. I was so focused on Miss Yun earlier that I didn't notice who it was.
Huh? What are you talking about?
He's the Traveler. You know,
so she does
the
know
one
who
who
I am.
even the Chi Sing will listen to.
Yep.
What the... what have I gotten myself into?
Also, I'm friends with Beidou, Ningguang, also the people at the kitchen, Archon himself. I can go on.
No need to get all worked up here. What we meant was,
No more lies, sir.
Yes, quite right. You are quite right. I'm disappearing into thin air as we speak. Just my luck.
I'm so sorry. I had no idea it was going to turn out like this.
Nah, it's fine. It's not
But I'm
your fault,
so
sort of.
ashamed. I don't know how I could face Miss Yun now.
I mean, not her. She didn't mean to do it, but probably do background checks with someone before signing contracts like that.
So please pass on my
They're dangerous
apologies to her.
And then they just disappear. So I have a good idea of where the second ending, well, the last ending is gonna go from here. So actually, I think we have enough time to go through all the endings today. Then.
Did you find anything out?
I did indeed. Shinyu asked me to apologize on her behalf.
I see. Well, it's not unexpected. It's just a bit of a shame that I didn't get to talk with Shiryun for longer. She genuinely understands opera and has a passion for it. That's not something you can act. If I had the chance to talk with her more in depth, it could well provide me with some fresh inspiration.
Eugene.
Wait, what?
Did you agree to another interview without notifying me? These tabloid types are total scumbags.
Wait,
sure,
is
nothing.
it the same ending though?
Well, Geo Lord.
Oh. Oh, never mind. I thought there was going to be a different ending, but I guess not. Okay. All right, so hold on. Okay, I want to do this one first. So, this time we need to tell Miss Yunjin instead of just kind of doing this.
Are you ready? Just think. You as
and the last one doesn't seem too hard still.
No one wants to. Case in point.
We should be fine.
Report me. You better. You son.
All right. Yunjin.
Well, think very carefully about what you're going to do. This is a rare opportunity. Now, I need to think how to phrase these interview questions.
You. Hey, wait!
Alright, we need to go talk to Yunjin about this. Ain't getting away with this.
Finally, a seat with a view.
Hello, Yunjin.
Did you find anything out?
Yep. Quite a bit.
I see. I knew there was something fishy about that editor-in-chief. But this is a bigger plot twist than I expected.
I should be reported to the millionaire.
Not yet. All he's done so far is ask a few questions. There's nothing in print yet. The Millilith wouldn't be able to do anything even if we got them involved.
So this is where we're getting some proof.
Besides, if we rush to report him now, it's only going to give him more material to write about.
Can't be the first time they've done this.
You're right. But tabloids like theirs never have permanent offices and printing presses. The moment they hear anything, they'll disappear without a trace. And you've got no chance of catching them. I'm actually more concerned about another detail you told me. Would you be willing to do me another favor? I want to send a letter to that journalist.
Leave it to me.
Thank you. The editor should be here soon, so I'll stay here to deal with him. I'll have to rely on you to deliver the letter. If everything goes well, we should be able to get some breathing room for a while.
I see. Alright, so give the letter to Shiryun. Oh, she's still there. So hello there, folks. Mind me?
I've had it with you. Do you think contracts are just bits of paper? If we weren't on a tight deadline, you'd better believe I'd fire you right here on the spot. You will stay here and reflect on your actions if you know what's good for you. Sorry, but I'm not babysitting you anymore today.
Oh, what am I going to do? You're
Hello.
the one who was with Miss Yun earlier.
Yunjin wrote this for you.
Miss Yun wrote me a letter?
Yeah, that she
I'll
did.
read it right away.
Go ahead.
Wow. Really? I can't believe this.
What does the letter
Miss
say?
Yun says that under Liyue law, any penalty charge I have to pay may not substantially exceed the amount of my salary. You can't have a labor contract that would completely bankrupt the employee in the event of a breach. It's not legally binding. So not only can he not get any money off of me, I can take this contract to the Ministry of Civil Affairs and blow the whistle on him.
There we go.
I didn't think about any of this when I was job hunting. I just signed the contract without a second thought.
Yeah, not a good idea.
I always thought Miss Yun was all about opera. Who would have thought she was such a legal expert, too?
Quite a solution she came up with,
If
indeed.
only I hadn't gone out of my way to get Miss Yun's attention in the first place, none of this would have happened. I didn't expect it to end up with Miss Yun helping fix my life problems.
Okay, lead me to their base of operations.
Well, Mr. Boye says I'm still on probation, so he won't tell me where their work location is. Plus, I give all my draft articles straight to him, so I don't have anything in the way of evidence. I wouldn't put it past him.
Not this.
But the letter says that my statement and the contract are enough to get the Millilith looking into it. If Miss Yun says so, I'm sure she must be right. Let's go confront him right now.
Alright, you got it. Back to Hiya Tea House. Alright, so Yunjin said that she was gonna deal with him. I know where this is going. Okay, so they're just talking.
Okay, I think I've covered this topic pretty thoroughly now. Unless you had any more questions?
Whoa, what can I say, Miss Yun? You have so many wonderful qualities. Let's not quit while the ball's rolling, huh? Otherwise, I'll think of something I didn't ask later, and by then, it'll be too late. So, hey, where's that, friend of yours who was here earlier? You guys seemed, pretty close.
I'm here,
Not
sir.
intentionally avoiding the interview, surely.
I'm here.
You're finally back. This poor gentleman's been waiting for you.
You're with Shiyun? Hey, what's going on here? Hey, Shiyun, don't forget the contract you signed.
Funny, sir, that contract's just what we came to discuss.
The Traveler clued me in. This contract you made me sign, it isn't worth the paper it's written on.
You know, actually, the fact that he's making kind of like a legal contract, I wonder what Zhongli would say if he was here.
Isn't worth the paper it's written on. Don't be ridiculous. It's all there, clear as day. Don't you think I did my research?
Research? Oh, so you're a news editor. But you also have an interest in law?
Yeah, she's new, and she's making a fool of herself.
Really?
She doesn't get how this all works. My apologies. Now,
I'm pretty sure that the one making a fool of themselves is you, sir.
No, it's okay. In fact, I found myself delving into some legal texts recently. It's all so intricate and complicated that it's very difficult to take it all in. The contracts of our opera troupe are a case in point. I'd finally finished reading through the relevant documentation from the Yuehai Pavilion when suddenly the Qixing announced a new interpretation. So I'm just curious. How can you be completely sure that you didn't miss anything when you were researching this?
I'm pretty sure I read everything relevant.
Under current legislation, the penalty terms in my labor contract are unreasonable and exploitative. I could report you to the Millilith for extortion.
Nonsense! That's ridiculous!
You sure about
My
that?
goodness. Sir, it seems that we should probably bring this interview to a close here.
Don't listen to her! I run a legitimate business. Everything we do is above board.
Really?
Oh, I have no doubt about that at all, sir. But this reminds me of a case I read about not long ago. Once you get reported and the Millilith starts scrutinizing your business, well, not only do they look into every license you have and every work you've ever published, but everything down to your fire safety policy will come under their magnifying glass as well. So if you don't get back now and start preparing for their arrival, well, I mean, I don't mind continuing the interview at all. but I'd hate to take up too much of your precious time if there's any aspect of your business you want to double-check from a legal standpoint.
What you gonna do, sir?
You? I won't forget this!
Hey, where do you think you're going?
Editor-in-Chief leaves in a panic.
Miss Yun, why did you stop me?
Are we really gonna let him go?
And the contract I have is enough to get him arrested, isn't it?
Ooh. Got something planned here?
I'm not a legal expert. I haven't the faintest idea.
Wait, what?
All that was just an act, aimed at getting him to show us the way.
Oh.
An act? Show us the way to what? Eugene, the Millilith are after him. Based on his movements, it looks like Boyi is heading back to his headquarters.
Ah.
I really hope they teach these tabloids a lesson they won't forget. It'd sure make my life a lot easier.
I see what's going on.
I had Yunning report to the Millilith while you were delivering the letter for me. The penalty terms in Shuyun's contract are too severe. Even if they don't violate the law, I'm sure he must be taking advantage of some loopholes. Anyone who works like that is sure to have a guilty conscience. So all I had to do was put on a little show, starring the editor-in-chief of the Steambird. And now, he is sure to lead us to the solid evidence.
You ain't kept us in the quiet, well, in the dark.
Well, acting has to be authentic to be believable.
That's fair.
Their little publication will go out of business in no time. Good riddance, I say. I hope this gets the other tabloids to rein in their antics, too. Hey, here's a thought. Maybe we could get him to rat on some of his rival publications. Ah, I only just realized what this means. I'm going to be out of a job, aren't I?
Possibly, yeah.
Well, would you still be interested in submitting an article to the Steambird? But the real one this time?
Well, yes, of course. But would they really accept an article from me?
Yunning,
hopefully.
When can we arrange the next interview for?
Oh, so now you're asking me. 2 days from now, morning. Work for you?
Okay. Shuyun, let's continue our discussion about tonight's play 2 days from now.
Does this mean I get to do a full feature interview with you?
Seems out.
Okay. I think I know what I want to write about. Thank you, Miss Yun.
Don't mention it. I'm sure it will be a source of inspiration for both of us.
Ah, this is nice. Few friends you shall find are easier to earn 1,000,000 more than to find a friend, someone who knows your heart. Ah, this is nice. Okay. Alright, last one. And we're done. So, alright, we need to go over here. And then it's Ningguang's quest for next time, if I remember correctly.
We can try some more.
We
I
can
can't
skip
wait
all
to
of
try it out. I'm getting excited. Huh. Well, people do often, so in that sense,
so it's basically all the same
sometimes
dialogue, it
I
seems.
can write.
Got this.
You think so? So you prefer the way I am on stage too?
Oh.
It's fair enough. After
Oh.
all, every
So I should
detail
not
of
have
my
done that.
onstage presence, from the songs to the costumes and
Hey
makeup,
Clark, welcome to
is
the stream.
carefully
Hope you're having a
crafted for
good day
maximum
today. Thank you
appeal.
for stopping by. Good to see ya.
And I've worked hard to try and cultivate an image that appeals to everyone. But if I can't lighten up and joke, never mind. Talk tonight was about me showing my like something to remember the evening by? A souvenir, perhaps? Anything you can think of?
I guess I'll go with this.
Okay, here you go.
You had one prepared already?
Well, people ask me for autographs all the time. Usually what they want is a signed picture of me on stage. Apparently that makes it more valuable.
Hi, I'm doing so-so, and I came stop by, but not for long. That's fine. I'm glad you came by at all, and I hope your day gets better.
Yunning suggested that I keep a bunch of them on hand at all times to make things easier.
Ah, yes! That one is a picture from the Divine Damsel of Devastation. I have one just like it on my wall at home.
Hey, are you guys talking about Miss Yoon's autograph photos?
Hello.
I have one in the store too.
Everyone has one.
Well, What do you think? Is this souvenir valuable enough for you?
Oh. Okay, so, probably not the, that is probably not the best ending. Alright, well, I want to redo this, and since it's my favorite. Genshin isn't my jam, so while I want to support you, I can't get into it. So I'm sure you're doing amazing. Thank you. And I know it's not everyone's cup of tea, but I hope I can still make it entertaining for you.
I hope whenever you look at this photo in the future, it will remind you of the good time we had today.
Alright.
Hold on. How is one photo going to be enough? We'll both need one if we want something to remember each other by. You take this one, and I'll take another photo of you. But could you find another location for us? I'll join you in a moment.
I feel like this is the one I want to end things off on. Alright. Here we go. So you enjoy your game, and hope to catch you after. Thank you.
Sorry I have to talk to you later too. So long.
Did you have to get ready?
You'll see. The view here is great. The lights, the buildings, it's the ideal spot. I can see you chose it carefully. Yes, this angle is perfect. Okay, strike a pose and close your eyes.
All right.
Yes, please. Quickly now.
I hear some light footsteps followed by Yunjin's voice right by your ear.
Get ready. 3, 2, 1. Open your eyes.
And...
The key here is consumer psychology.
there we go. And now this is the perfect way to end off the hangout event, and I guess the stream too, so... Big thank you to everyone who came by today. Hope you all had as much fun as I did. Really loved what they did with this new update to Genshin Impact. Hope I could help get entertaining for you guys as well. So, that's all for now. I hope to see you around on some more of my stream, where we can play games all together. A jolly good time. And that time comes. Have a good rest of your day. Take care. And I'll see you all later. Bye for now.